going up. You can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us. Always going up. You can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. What life gave us.
Oh, yeah, we good.
Oh,
Okay. Yo, what's poppin'? All right, we in here, man. We in here.
Yo, y'all can hear me, but y'all can't see me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the camera. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to leave and come back in.
All right.
You guys see Ollie? He's in the building.
All right, let me see. Peace to the chat. Trying to get everything situated.
That's a fact. I'm moderating today, guys. Something wrong and niggas is getting muted. Hey, from my side, because you know this, I'm doing it from this side. Can you guys see the chat from your end?
Yep.
I can.
How come I can't see that shit? What I gotta do to see that shit?
The chat? You should go, it's on the right-hand side.
Oh, nah, you're right. I see it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like Flint.
We in this thing.
How's everybody's day going?
Good. How's yours?
Oh, man, it's slow motion right now. I can't complain. I woke up fucking flying again and shit. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's becoming like a daily thing. It's just, I'm just waking up flying and shit. So, I don't know.
It's just like that, huh?
It just happens.
Yeah, so what's going on today? What brings us here today? I see Christian is in the building. We got Lala. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. The title alone is gonna kind of like set the tone for, you know what I mean, for the shit.
I mean, if you ask me, it's kind of a spin-off equally from last night.
That's
To a
right.
certain degree.
Let me give a shout out to my sponsors. This is we gonna go all around the board with the sponsors.
Look.
All right. But yeah, no, it most definitely is. Especially when we're talking about the position, you know, because we didn't get an opportunity to have an isolation of what the positions may be from a different perspective, right? And that's to say that it may or may not be able to be interchanged. And I just want to, you know, see if we can come to some type of understanding with that. So with further ado, you know, extra addition. So to everybody that's in the chat, we usually don't go like back-to-back days and shit. So we appreciate any and everybody that's gonna chime in and shit. Let me throw my Facebook feed on real quick so I can see who's in the goddamn room. And yeah, whenever y'all feel like getting it in, did Krish, is he back in?
Hey, did he tap back in?
Oh shit, my bad. In there.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling?
What's up with bro?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. I've been working all day. Back a little sore, but we can get into it. I'm chilling, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all for you know, making another edition. I know this should take a lot of work to really set up and time and shit. So I appreciate y'all letting us do this on y'all platform.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. This is, you feel me? This is what we here for, man. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? So
Selfmade, I have an
I hear myself echoing.
Who's echoing?
That was probably my phone. It was coming from my phone because I got my Facebook clip from my phone.
Oh,
okay, that makes sense.
I usually, you know, I can see all that. It's on Woon today.
Yeah. I'll mute my goddamn self too. I'm not biased. I'll mute my own shit.
So I had to leave and come back in. So I don't know if y'all did any type of introduction. I don't know what was said. So
I was just saying, like, you know, so we got both of y'all in the building. Maybe some background, you know, as to what's making this happen, and you know, the topic and that whole thing.
I'll let Lala explain that. Go ahead and pop that off.
Woon looks like he has something to say. I could tell though that Woon, I got something to say.
I already know Woon gonna be involved in this. It's gonna be lovely.
I'm gonna spill my spill, but my spill is gonna be on a whole different type of energy. But
okay,
I just with that, because you know he was basically saying, like, you know, you did come to him to, you know, to want to bust your gun and challenge him. So the natural way to do that is for you to, you know, because he's on the defense right now, you're on the offense. So you know, if you want to kick that off in that manner.
Wakanda forever.
Also, so ultimately, I mean, are you guys asking me? Do I have the mic?
Yeah, it's on you.
Okay. Ultimately, I was watching a previous podcast that Krishna was in. You keep changing your name, man. I see you. Krishna was in.
God of many names.
That's right. Was in a previous podcast that I kind of sat back and watched, and I had some discrepancy with some of the things that were being stated. I'm trying to get to you the actual things. Some of the things. Well, we got to where we are, right? So I messaged Woon and I'm like, you know, I have a little bit of discrepancy and I want to give my perspective and shed a little bit of light to some of these things. And when it comes to, you know, the man and the woman, I mean, not to say that I didn't have issues with more, I don't even want to say issues, but my own perspective on other things, we're here to talk about the male to the female. And I know, you know, Krishna, you and I have had our own build about it, but ultimately, you know, we wanted to save it for the platform to shed light to the people and give perspective to the people out there in a respectful way, so that, you know, we can throw male to female and as well as get some understanding. You want to add to that? Because I keep going. I got wind, right?
Yeah, you tapped into the stream, but it's funny enough though. It seemed like we talked about that a lot, where y'all did, and I kind of just tapped in. That seemed like that's what like the whole podcast was about yesterday. It was a lot of talk about the man and the woman and you know, the roles and positions that we play. But if it's something, because I think we covered a lot yesterday with that. But if it's something specifically that I said that you want us to talk about on here, we can definitely do that. You know what I mean?
Well,
We can address that.
I appreciate that, right? Because when you came in, you slid into the podcast yesterday. And when you and I had our individual build behind, and let me go ahead and throw some things out there. The marriage, how it's only beneficial to the woman, and
Right.
women cannot teach or be influencers or leaders over men is initially what got us here, right?
Right.
So, I got at my people and was basically like, I want to talk to them just to shed some light. As we had that discussion between you and I, it seemed as if I was able to bring my perspective to a place where you were able to understand that some of the things you said in the previous podcast that I initially watched were inaccurate to a certain degree, because I was able to show or provide instances or circumstances as to where the woman is able to step into these roles under certain circumstances, right?
Right.
So when we opened up the show yesterday, it's kind of like you try to pimp past that and not even acknowledge that we came to an understanding. To me.
No, I apologize if it came off like that. I definitely wasn't trying to say that. Brother Antoine, I sound like a brother Antoine. Brother Antoine was giving his spiel, and I ain't want to like interject. He was kind of doing a lot of the talking and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I whatever we talked about in our personal conversation, like I stand on that. Which is, I think what you speaking on is when I said that marriage benefits the woman more than it benefits the man.
Mm-hmm.
What you said to me was that it's instances where, it's the other way around, and the dude is basically getting all the benefits and getting alimony and shit like that. And
Don't put
I
words
agree.
in my mouth, Krishna. Did I
Huh?
say don't put words in my mouth? Did I say
Oh.
that it always benefits the man, or did I provide examples too where the man equally benefits, or in certain circumstances can benefit
Right.
even more?
No, I said that it benefits the woman, and you was giving me instances where it's actually the other way around. It can be the other way around.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I acknowledge that, and I retracted my statement on that publicly. I go ahead and say that publicly.
Thank you.
It's definitely situations where a dude can manipulate the system and marriage system to get what he want out of the woman, or take her money and shit like that. I personally feel like those situations are more rare. You know what I mean? It's more common. We know that women in a marriage situation, in a case of a divorce, usually she takes the children. If they didn't have a prenup, she takes half of his money, and get what you call it, alimony or spousal support.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when we hear about that, it's the woman that's benefiting from that. It's just rare, at least for me, from my understanding, it's rare situations where you hear it the other way around, where the man is taking the kids and he's taking half of her shit. You know what I mean? So that's more so what I meant when I said that.
Okay. And I appreciate you rescinding that statement, because like I said, I was under the impression that we came to an understanding, and I was like, wait a minute, did you just write me out?
No. If I came off that way, I apologize.
That's
definitely not my intention. Yeah.
Equally, I know we got to, and the build that we had alone was dope.
Yeah. So
for sure. But equally, I know you said something along the lines of, in the previous podcast, that I watched and didn't know of you yet, that women cannot.
Oh shit.
Not.
Oh shit. I already know where you're going with this.
Are not in a position to lead. And when I say lead, what you say?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
No, I thought you was about to say something else, but it's cool.
That women are not in a position to lead or teach a man. And I thought that we came to, a understanding of that as well.
Well, okay, so what is the understanding that you think we came to? Just so I'm clear.
That In
And
certain
that could,
circumstances.
all right, all right.
You look, you're already shaking your head. I'm like,
I'm gonna bring up what you said, because all right, in our personal conversation, you used the example of what you do, which you're a professor, right?
mm-hmm,
And you said that it's male nurses or
mm-hmm.
males who aspire to be nurses, and they come to you for guidance and mentorship, basically to be a mentor, so you can teach them how to, I can't remember the words you used, but to have build interpersonal relationships and in that workforce in a female dominated industry. They come to you for guidance and mentorship to help them basically become better nurses and basically thrive in that environment, correct?
Half partially.
Oh, I mean, could just correct me if you know,
Partially because
fill in the gaps.
you try to flip the energy and say that a man should only be going to his woman
Mm-hmm.
to run things by her, essentially, is what I was, and I gave you the scenario of behind a strong man is usually a strong woman. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have that strong woman as a man, that empire is going to be able to penetrate it and infiltrate it and everything else, right? And let's
Okay.
look at the men who have strength, right? You don't see them with a weak woman. And equally, when we went into that, I provided different circumstances where, because you tried to say that the woman cannot think logically. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You putting, hold on, are you talking about something that I said in a podcast or in our conversation?
You said it in the podcast, and I brought it to your attention when I gave you the scenario of, let me
Because
just
as far as I remember, when it came down to when I was saying that a woman should never lead a man, what I remember is us going into how sometimes basically you had to be in a leadership position in your marriage.
not in
And
my marriage, in a decision.
not only that, you
process.
said that too though, but you said sometimes where you had to step up and where he couldn't step up and basically take that leadership position or tell him, well, maybe we shouldn't do this, or you got to think before you do this or that. But not only that, you said it was situations where that the male nurses come to you for mentorship, and you use that as an example of women being leaders to men. And what I was telling you is the only thing that you're really mentoring them in is basically how to be more feminine, which is appropriate. If a man wants to know how to be more feminine, he will have to learn that from a woman. Because a man has to be, I was saying how in order for him to take on these traits that you have to take on, like you said, being more compassionate, understanding, loving, and shit like that, you know, those are feminine qualities. Am I correct?
I don't.
So,
Can I say something to that? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me? You just now said that, because I'm listening and I'm gonna let y'all rock, but you said that the women are teaching the men to be like women, ultimately.
Okay, in that scenario, yes. In the scenario where she's saying that she's a professor and she's teaching these men who aspire to be nurses how to be better nurses and thrive in that environment.
Now, wait, real quick.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's teaching them how to be feminine, is what I'm saying.
Got you. So, are you associating the word nurse with a feminine aspect?
Right.
In a way, I kind of am. Yeah.
Why?
So,
I mean, because what do you think of when? What do you think of when you ask what the nature of a woman is to be a nurse and to nurse and nurture, right? To be a nurse and nursing.
What about like would Dr. Sebi and anybody who's under his teaching be feminine?
So do you consider Dr. Sebi a nurse or a doctor? Because I feel like a doctor is more of a masculine. It's like masculine.
But the act of doing what they're doing is the act of doing what they're doing, regardless to the title that you associate with it.
Right.
Can I even say something as well? Equally, you gave that position of the doctor naturally to a man and said it's masculine. How do we describe the women doctors that are out there?
That's what I'm getting at. I'm trying to backdoor it. I'm trying to backdoor it so he could, you know what I mean?
So basically what I'm saying is, naturally, I feel like it's like you said, the nursing industry, if I'm saying that correctly, is more female dominant. It's more women being nurses than it are men, correct?
I agree with
Because
that.
it's natural for a female to be a nurse, to be nursing, to be nurturing, to listen and give that loving, warm energy to their patient. And I'm saying a doctor is more so can be many different things. I'm not a medical profession, so this may not be the best metaphor analogy for me. You know what I'm saying? But doctors can be surgeons or, doing more of the physical shit. I mean, I can't really use this example because I don't know that much about being a doctor. I don't know the difference like that.
Well,
But I'm just saying.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so more so what I'm saying is when you saying being a leader, and when I was saying women leading men, I'm more so talking about, and all right, let me just be clear. And I said this in our personal conversation. It's not that men can't learn anything from women or like a woman can't give you information, especially if you went to school for something and you studied it and you became a master of it. You'll be foolish just because she's a woman not to listen to her or take her advice or her guidance in that area. But when I say a woman can't lead a man, I'm more so talking about a relationship. We talking about government positions like being a president, being a politician. When it comes to the most important shit that determines the fate of our lives, when it comes to leading the family, that's what I mean by men are supposed to be in a leadership position, and it's not appropriate for a woman to lead a man. But if a woman is teaching a man something that she went to school for, that she just learned, I'm not saying that she can't teach him, but I don't consider that her being a leader, being his leader.
So,
you understand what I'm saying?
Low key. But even with that being said, so in medical alone, right? Mm-hmm. You just gave, and I'm only using your words, right? You established that, nursing is predominantly female, and I agree with that. There are a lot more males stepping into that role nowadays. But equally, you gave the masculinity of being a doctor to a male, right? I'm going to let you know how it goes in the hospital because I spent 20-something years in the hospital. Those male doctors don't know their patients. They come to us female nurses to learn about their patients, to be able to order tests, to order prescriptions, to order whatever else. So that in one role in itself, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna give you that because honestly, I shouldn't even be speaking on that because I'm not even in that industry at all. So I can't even really use that as an example. I can't go there. So I apologize for even trying to make a doctor seem like that's a masculine role because I'm not in that industry. So I don't know. I can't speak on that. But when I'm talking about male leadership, what I mean is mainly relationships, marriage. The man is the leader of the relationship. He's supposed to lead in that area. And when it comes to like government, leading the world, deciding the fate of nations and war and shit like that. That's what I mean when I say male leadership.
What does your definition of male leadership in a relationship look like?
That means that ultimately, whatever the man's plan is, what his goals and visions are for himself, for his wife and his family, that's what goes. And he makes the final decisions. It's not that the woman can't give suggestions, that she doesn't have a voice. Any smart man gonna take some of his woman's advice, and she may see some shit that you don't see, because we need each other. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, when it comes to making those final decisions, when it comes to what we're gonna do, what we're about to get done, and what our mission is as a family, the man is supposed to take that role. You should never be following your woman's lead.
What is that based off of, though?
What do you mean? What is it based off of?
What are those leadership qualities based off of? I mean, are they based off of strength? Are they based off of power? Are they based off of knowledge? What's the ground for that leadership? And I'm trying to be meticulous in what I ask.
Emotional and mental stability. Let's be clear. I'm talking about men. I'm not talking about males. Because a lot of women are in a relationship with males who aren't even fit to be leaders, who aren't fit to, be led by, and that's why I still agree with you on that point, what you was bringing up yesterday, that it's not a lot of men in this world, but I'm talking about real men. If he's a real man, he's gonna be emotionally stable when y'all under pressure or there's some shit hitting the fan and things need to be done. Your man is gonna be able to stay grounded, focused, and get y'all through that situation. And that, am I right about that?
I agree with that. I agree with
So
that. I agree that
that's one reason why we should be in a leadership. Would you say?
I agree. A man should be grounded, but a man has to be grounded to himself before he can be grounded to anything or anyone else, right?
Exactly.
A woman as well, right?
Right. So the ground, because you asked me what are the grounds for a man being a leader in a relationship? That's one of them. Like, emotional intelligence, being able to be grounded and focused in a fucked up situation when shit going crazy. He should be stable enough to get you through that situation. That's what a real man would do. He's going to be able to make the major decisions when it comes to your life, like where y'all going to live, where y'all going to move, the type of moves y'all going to make. The man is equipped to do these things and handle just more high levels of stress than women are. You know what I'm saying? And still maintain his masculinity and his emotional stability while doing so.
And women
I don't know about that.
Women don't have that same ability. I'm sorry, Woon, go ahead.
I just want to say something to that real quick.
Okay.
A lot of women, especially from that was mothers like in the 80s and shit, they put up with a lot of shit, man, and they've been thugging it out. Not to say that each and every one was on some shit, but when at the times where women have that, because it's a nurturing factor. You said it earlier, so I'm gonna just go in. I'm gonna come in from that angle. That nurturing, the natural nurturer, naturally is built to nurture, regardless of whatever the situation that it is going to take place. So the woman automatically thinks survival or automatically thinks nurture, right? Whereas to the male may have to go out and get it, while the woman can naturally just be right there and then just have that shit popping like how it is. So again, when it comes down to, and you said it, the women takes the kids when they divorce from their husband and shit, right? Why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is?
Or was you saying that because they naturally just want to take the kids on some petty shit as opposed to that's their natural responsibility?
Well, yeah, so it's both. And I think I see where you're going with this. I believe, so I'm just gonna say my perspective. The reason they take the kids is because, one, it depends on the female. Some of them just want to take the kid because to maintain that power and that leverage over the man. A lot of them do use the child as leverage over that man. You know what I mean? So when they have the children and that man wants to be in his children's lives, she really got his soul. She got a lot of control over what he can and can't do when it comes to his child. But I think where you were going to with it is the reason why women take the child is because they're naturally more nurturing and want to protect and be there for the child. Is that where you were going to go with that?
That's where I'm kind of trying to slide to.
Yeah. No. So, like I said, I would never sit here and diminish the power of the role of the woman. That you know what I'm saying? That's not my intent. My intent is who should be the leader in the relationship.
I understand your position.
That's my whole point.
No, I understand your position, but you just now said something that was like women.
Well, when I said stress, that
they can't maintain that, and I seen too many. My mom is one of them that that maintain through all the shit. So when you say that, you have to be.
No, I didn't say women can't be under.
No.
That they can't get through stressful situations.
No.
I'm saying the man is more equipped.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, so you think?
I don't believe that. Not more.
Do you think that men fold under pressure more than women? I'm not talking about boys. I'm not talking about boys. I'm not talking about these males pretending to be men. I'm talking about a real man, his masculine energy fully developed,
But watch this.
and you
Watch
put
this.
them in a
But
stressful situation or a stressful environment, do you think that the woman is gonna fold before the man, or
watch
other way
this
around?
though. But watch this.
Okay.
Because the situation that you just now gave me, I wouldn't equate that energy to a woman. I would, you could say a
What you
bitch or
mean?
like, because you're saying not a male, you're saying not a male, you're saying a man, right? So there's certain
Mm-hmm.
qualities that come with men. We understand that. But there's
Right,
also
right.
certain qualities that come with women. And it seems like
Okay.
you're putting women in a female perspective or in a stupid the bitch perspective when it
No, no,
at the
no,
same
no.
so hold on,
So,
wait, real quick,
okay.
real quick. So what I'm saying is ultimately if you look at a male and why they're considered to be a man, and if you're looking at a woman and why they're considered to be a woman, now we understand what level that we're playing on. So naturally they're equally on the same thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't want you to, what I'm saying is, and I'm
So,
listening to
do
everything
you
you
feel
all right,
like?
real quick. I don't
Okay.
want you to box all women in to having that position, because that
Right.
role can be reversed and it can
When
be
you say
all
having
on
that
equality.
position, what position are you speaking on? What do you mean?
I'm simply just talking about how you said that men can handle more pressure than women can.
Right.
And I don't think that that's true. I think that it's equal across the board. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Same. You can.
But that's your
Yeah.
perspective. I don't want to take that away from
Yeah.
you if that's your experience. But I've seen in my lifetime more women handle shit better than men on some
Right.
real shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I get what you're saying, and that's the sad state of the society. That's the sad state that we live in, where that's even a thing. I commend all the women who was able to get through, the worst situations and still hold it down. But it's unfortunate that they was even put in that position. So it's sad to even speak on men in leadership nowadays, because it's such a rare thing. A real man is like such a rare thing that we even got to have these type of conversations where we talk about women being in these situations and how they got through it. It shouldn't even be that. Because would you want your woman to go through those situations, or did they go through that just based on circumstance and had to adapt to that situation?
But see,
I'm
at
not
that
saying
point,
women aren't capable, but I'm
at that
saying
point,
that they weren't
that's kind of how you
designed to
make
have
it,
to go
though.
through that. I'm not
at
saying
that
that they're not capable,
yeah,
because
at that point in
humans.
time, at that point in time, it wouldn't matter. Only thing
Yeah.
that matters is that they're staying where they need to be at, and they're
Right.
sustaining what they need to sustain.
Right,
So
right, right.
how they got
But
there don't matter.
I just want to be clear that I'm not diminishing what a woman is capable of doing. Women, if she put any human that put their mind to getting some shit done, and
That
they
part.
serious about that, they can get that shit done.
Then
Women
that's
are
all that
powerful
matters.
too.
That's all that
Yeah,
really matters right there.
but
Right.
right, and
But
I'm not even debating that. I'm simply debating what she brought up is, I'm saying women shouldn't be leaders of men. That's the whole point. All these
But
other
can
things I agree with y'all with.
But if they
I?
can,
That's all I'm
but
saying.
if we can see that they can lead, it, when
What's the
they're in
problem?
there, what's the problem?
When you
But
see
even
that, so when you say that when we see that they can lead, give me an example.
these strong women that are out here leading, like,
Let me
Yeah,
give you.
exactly.
Hey,
What do you mean by leader? What do you mean by being? Are you talking about leading her children? Or are you talking about a woman actually leading groups of men and teaching them how to be warriors and soldiers and how to get shit
I
done?
can't teach a man how to be a warrior and a soldier. I can't do that because I'm not a
Right.
man.
So
I
women
can let
are
him
appropriate
through that
leaders
and
of
give him
other
the
women.
support that he
Women are
needs
appropriate
to do
leaders
that.
of other women and children. But women should never be in a leadership
It
position
just
over men.
depends. It just depends on what you're talking about.
Now,
Yeah.
But that's
even
it.
with that,
What'd you say?
go ahead, Sal.
I said it
Nah.
just depends on what you're talking about. Like if you're talking about war, or you know what I'm saying, where you have to learn some sort of aspect like that, then yeah, why not leave it up to the men? You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
even then, you know what I'm saying, you might have some female warriors within that. You know what I'm saying? And so at the
Right.
same time, you know what I mean. It's still gonna fall on the same spectrum. And then you may have some men that want to learn how to cook, and they're gonna go to the women. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, but I'm
So are you equating being a teacher with being a leader? Like if I teach you anything, then I'm leading.
what makes a teacher a teacher?
Right.
You have to show
at this point
leader.
we get into
You have to
semantics.
show.
I get what you. It all depends on your definition of leader. I think
No, I'm
that's
saying, but you have to show leader qualities
Leadership.
for people to even want to listen to you and learn anything
right.
from you. Or else,
Right.
like,
Yeah, I
why
think
would I
we're
even
just talking about a different level of leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Leadership is
equally-
leadership across the board. It's that's what it is.
Nah. I disagree. I
So
simply
what
disagree.
do we do
If you're
with
talking
the
about
man?
a woman teaching me how to cook and you saying that's her being my leader, I mean, I get
That's
what you're
not-
saying. But that's not what I mean by leadership. You know what I'm saying?
You define your leadership.
I'm
then.
talking about leading groups of people in a certain direction, like an actual world leader, like a ruler, a king, a president.
Okay, we brought that up last night, though.
What you say?
That was last night, and I don't know if you were still in the podcast at that point last night, because Selfmade
Yeah.
made a wonderful point with that in the matriarch world, right? But equally with that, let's even talk about the king who's sitting there, who's like, I don't know what to do. Who's the first person that they go home and consult? Their wife, to help them get guidance through that situation. That is still a form of leadership. It's still a form of leading. If my man comes to me and he's like, look, baby, I got this, and this going on, the first thing that I'm going to ask him is, do you want me to listen or do you want my advice? Because then I know where I'm at, right?
So you basically, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's my first thing. Do you want me, are you wanting me to listen or do you want my advice? No, baby, I want your advice. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? I got X, Y, and Z happening, and you know what I mean? I don't know what to do.
Right. Now,
That's
I definitely
asking for leadership. You know what I mean?
I
It's
resonate.
not emasculating him. It's not demeaning him.
Right.
He's trying to step into the spotlight and take the shine from him. It's behind the scenes leadership. Behind every strong man, there's a strong woman.
I resonate with that from a certain perspective. I get what you're saying. To me, you know, that would be a somewhat of a rare instance. So if a man come to you and he like, yo, these niggas got me from all sides, baby, what should I do? Like, I can't think of shit else. He may come to you and you may give him some wisdom that will help him get out that situation. In that moment, you're right. She was a leader in that moment. But what happens if your man does that all the time? What if your man every day, he like, yo, baby, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? At that point, that's not a man. That's inappropriate. That's not natural. You know what I'm saying? You would be dealing with a lower than a man. You would be dealing with a male or
so
boy.
Can I
you get what I'm saying?
that?
So I'm not saying that a woman can't be a leader when necessary. When, you know, women got a lot of insight. There's nothing wrong with coming to your woman if you really just need that extra ear. You need that extra advice. But I'm saying, who's the dominant leader? Who's the main one making the decisions? Who's the main one leading things forward?
I mean, what are we talking about? Are we talking about nowadays? Are we talking about, because I think that it has to be equal. It's about balance. There has to be balance.
I disagree.
If there's no balance, it's not gonna. It's already.
There can be balance, but balance doesn't necessarily mean that balance doesn't necessarily mean two leaders. You know, that's like two CEOs. You know what I mean? It's like two captains of a ship. You may have a co-captain, but that doesn't mean balance. You know what I'm saying? To me, the woman's role in what she does is
exactly
balance.
what that means.
So you saying two leaders is what you see as balance in a relationship.
I'm not saying
both of us lead equally. Are you saying both of us lead equally?
I'm
like a 50-50 partnership.
At this point, what is where does that balance come in? If a woman is not allowed, according to your
masculine and feminine energy, because to me, leadership is more so it's a masculine quality. My definition of leadership. I'm not talking about teaching somebody what you know, because if you're talking about a woman leading a woman and stuff like that and teaching women how to be feminine and be mothers and to be wives, you know, then she's being a leader of other women. But I guess we talk about two different forms of leadership. The balance that I'm talking about is if you got one that's dominant, you got one that's submissive. You know what I'm saying? You got one who's making the decisions and you got ones that's following those instructions. That's
let me
balance.
stop you right there. The leader and the follower, because now you're getting somewhere. And yes,
Yeah,
I don't
the leader and the
I don't want
follower.
a man who submits to me.
The
I'm sorry.
master and the student. So it's like two masters. Two masters, that's not necessarily balanced. Who's going to be the student?
We're
You know
not
what I'm
talking
saying?
about masters though, right? We're talking about the follower and the leader. When that
Right.
man comes home and he's like, baby, I don't know what to do, she is taking a leadership position.
Right, but that's a
him
rare
to-
instance. The exception isn't the rule.
So why do
That
we get
happens.
the wordplay when it's beneficial to you, but not when it's beneficial to me? Because you're like, oh, that's a rare sub. It's not
It
as
is
rare.
rare.
As you think,
Am
Vinny.
I wrong?
It's not,
Am I
I'm
wrong
gonna
by
tell you
saying that
like
that's
this.
rare?
It's not as rare as you may think. And let me, I'm
Because
gonna ask,
these
and if
niggas
I'm
is
being invasive,
vicious. My
let
bad.
me
I just
know.
playing.
If I'm being invasive with this, let me know. Do you?
Nah,
and
you
your
good. You good. I
Do
love
you-
it. This is fun.
Do you and your women live together?
Yes.
How many times, and don't fold on me, how many times have you came home to your woman and needed her assistance with making a decision? Whether it
Not
be an
often.
emotional decision, and think about it before you answer. Sit on it for a second. Because it's not,
Nah,
not as
I mean, I know
rare
the
as
answer.
you think.
What'd you say? I'm sorry,
It's
say that
not
last
as
part again.
rare as you think.
Right, but it's not a common thing. Like
Why
usually
is
I
it
know
not?
it don't be necessary. I be knowing what to do. I know what to
In
do
all
in the most
situations,
important.
you know what to do.
Most of the time, I would
What's
say
the point of
90,
having a woman then?
97. What you say?
What's the
right
point
there.
of you having a woman then if you know what to do all the
I
time?
need
If you're
her to
completely
be. I
balanced,
need her because I don't need a woman to tell me or teach me what to do in life. I already know what I want to do. I need her there as a support system to be my assistant, to nurture me. Yo, I'm being real.
Nah,
I need her to give that balance to my
So
life,
it's-
like to be my piece, to cook. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound condescending, but I'm just being real.
this
Like I
sounds like
believe in
last
tradition.
night.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah, I just believe in
So,
traditional.
wait,
Like I believe the woman should cook and clean and keep the household
watch
running
this.
smoothly.
Hey,
I ain't
watch
talking
this.
about. I don't need her to lead me though, or tell me what to do.
Without all that, are you still going to be in that position that you're in as a leader?
Yeah, I mean, it would be harder. It would be much harder.
Okay.
Because I'm not seeing, y'all think just because I'm saying that the man should be the leader doesn't mean that I don't value what a woman brings to a relationship. It's extremely important. We can't really exist without each other. All I'm simply saying is the man makes the decisions. He makes the important final decision.
Why do you feel like women cannot though? Why? And I'm not saying
It's
it like
not necessary. You don't have to. If I know what to do and I'm actually succeeding in that, why should you have to? You don't even have to worry about it because everything is going swimmingly. If everything's going good and I'm handling the finances, I'm handling the business, and everything is flowing the way it's supposed to, we got a roof over our head, we got food in the refrigerator, we got clothes, we're healthy, I'm giving you knowledge, I'm giving you wisdom. You know, that don't mean if my woman say some smart shit or some dope shit, I'm gonna be like, you're a woman, I don't want to hit. Nah, it's dope. That's beautiful that she's adding to what I got going on. But I don't need a woman to do that. I don't need a woman to lead me, to tell me what to do, to give me guidance. I already know where I'm going.
Do you ask your woman, do you take the opportunity to ask her if you're leading her correctly?
That's a good question. So me and my wife talk all the time. Like, it never came up in that way. Like I never asked her, like, am I leading you correctly? But I asked her, you know, I inquire into her happiness and our relationship and if she happy with our relationship and how it's going. We have all those type of conversations, and my wife is happy as shit. She out of town right now, but if she was here, she would come on. She would tell y'all everything that I'm saying right now is a fact. I wish she was here right now.
So your leadership, if your leadership didn't make her happy, would you stay with her?
If my leadership didn't make her happy, what do you mean by that? I sound like Drewski. What do you mean by that?
and my question may seem like it's, you know, like it don't make sense, but what I'm saying is that if she disagreed with how you chose to lead, like you wouldn't stay with her, right?
Yeah, I mean, most likely, because that just made me that we're not compatible. She don't have the same values that I have.
Right. So
can I ask something? Why do you automatically lessen the woman?
Right.
She
Wait,
don't
wait, wait,
have
wait,
the
wait,
same
wait,
values that I have.
So when it
No, that's just me not. That just means we might not be on the same frequency.
Okay.
If she don't like the way that I am and I do things and how I lead, I mean, if I was leading in the wrong, I would inquire and I would ask her like, so what is it about the way that I lead, that makes you feel uncomfortable? And if it makes sense, if it really makes logical sense, then I would adjust myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
that's my
beyond.
question. That
Okay,
was
I'm
my
not a
good.
beyond correction.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's some shit that I don't agree with, and I'm like, that don't make sense though. Like, and it don't really make sense to me. I mean, it makes no sense for us to stay together because if you're not happy, then I'm not happy. It don't make sense.
So what don't make sense to you? Would you not like? I don't know because I'm more of an open dude, and I know that you said that you wouldn't naturally just go to your woman unless something bad happened. Me personally, I've talked to women that I'm not even in a relationship with, but I get their advice just from the gate, right? Because I understand that I'm just not doing shit for males. You know what I mean? I'm doing shit for women as well. So I want to get all the intel that I can before I even bust a play. Like, but that's just me though.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So you honestly have never went to a woman and asked for guidance on anything?
Let me think.
Your mama, your grandma, anybody?
I mean, no, I can't say that. Like, especially as a child, like, you know what I mean? I definitely asked my
You
mom
have to
things,
call
and
yourself
that's
a
why I
man.
said it's definitely appropriate for a woman to lead her children.
No,
Your
I
mother.
but I'm
But
saying
like, as a grown man, I'm really trying to think. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Has there ever been a time where I asked a woman like for guidance? I can't really say that I have. I'm not. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head of a situation.
Can you
I
think?
ask women stuff about women and how they think and shit like that. Like I like hearing their perspective on things and how it is being a woman, and I like hearing a woman's perspective. But I never really asked like for guidance in like my life.
Have you asked for guidance in a situation? Being that you like hearing women's perspective, has that perspective ever opened you up to where you applied that versus what you were originally going to apply?
Yeah. The things that women tell me about like the shit that they go through, from their perspective, like the emotional shit, or just how men treat them, and the just negative experiences that they had with men, that has definitely influenced me to not do those things. And not, I mean, it was never really natural. My whole family is mainly women, especially on my mom's side.
Mm-hmm.
We the only boys, me, my brother, and my big brother and my little brother. But yeah, so I always had a natural love for women and shit like that, respect for women. But yeah, when they tell me stuff like that they go through and the sufferings and shit, and just women go through a lot of fucked up shit, but it definitely influenced me to like not be harsh and like be understanding of what they going through. So I mean, yeah.
With that
They
understanding,
made me more compassionate.
great, because with that understanding and that experience of hearing what they've gone through, do you not think that led you to become a better man in that scenario?
I mean, sure. I mean, in that instance, I guess you could say that. And
So
like, I'm not a.
would you have the capability to be leaders?
Say again.
We do have the capability to be leaders.
These
funny. Women just come on, because you didn't do it to yourself, and it's out of love. I love you.
I'm just being. I'm not. Yeah. I guess. I mean, if that's what you want to call it, I'm not attached. In that way, in that capacity, yeah, women could. I guess they could lead us on how to treat them, for sure. Like how they in that way, I guess they are leaders.
I'll accept that. I'm gonna accept that because I don't want to have to.
Nah, say what you gotta say. Nah,
no.
if you consider that leadership, I mean, I can't really deny that. If women teaching, telling us what they're going through and their experiences with men leads us to treat them better, well, might say that. I mean, I guess that is leadership.
But you also can't think like a woman, and so that's an aspect of yourself that you don't have. You get what I'm saying? So you could be looking at a situation and missing a whole aspect that a woman has to bring to that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was gonna ask you if you are going through some, you know, some sort of a tough time, or you just may have, you know, a lot of stuff on your mind. Do you go to a man figure?
Yeah.
So you go to a man figure, and
if I'm going through some shit, like, it depends on what the situation is, but if it's some serious shit, like, I don't know, financial, I don't agree to those terms and conditions because my financials is looking good right now. I don't even like speaking in opposition to that, but yeah, I mean, if it's some serious shit, I would rather go to a man than go to a woman.
How are you gaining balance or insight though from the other? You know what I mean? How's that balance come in if you're going from male to male and you guys carry the same energy?
I mean, it depends. And like I said, it depends on the situation. The only woman that I actually go to if it's not a man would be my wife, because my wife is hella wise. She's hella wise. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not devaluing, you know, what a woman brings to a relationship. You do need that balance sometimes. You know, your woman can give you insight that you didn't see, or help you look at some shit from another perspective. So, I mean, if y'all want to call that leadership, then cool, we call it that. But
come on, Krish, you were playing now because we just gave. I mean, I'm agreeing
with you. I'm trying to be balanced.
You're not balancing it because you're devaluing it. You're like, if that's what y'all call leadership, you know what I'm saying? You're putting a negative connotation on it.
Because that's not, we're not operating out of the same definition of leadership. If you learn anything,
the scenario that we provided and that we spit, right? And now you're discrediting that to bring. I'm
not discrediting it. So it's just I don't fully agree. I wouldn't use that. I wouldn't use that word. I personally wouldn't use that word to describe what y'all describing. That's just me though. I'm not saying y'all wrong. I just don't fully resonate with it. Why? I'm sorry.
We just went through the scenario though. we just went through the scenario, right? You equally,
because that don't make her my leader though. Like,
we're not, just
because a woman,
if you're able to be led, somebody has led you
to certain situations, right?
That's a fact.
If you're allowed to be led, somebody was the leader of you being led at that point. I'm not saying they hold that title over you. I think that's where you're kind of not willing to let go, because it's a power struggle at that point to you. It's just what I'm gathering.
It's not a power struggle.
It's not a leadership over you. It's just that somebody was allowed to lead you in a certain situation. That makes them the leader of that situation. We cannot deny that, right? We can't deny that. My boss is the leader of my damn paycheck. As much as I don't want it and I want to control my own paycheck, she still signs my check, right? She's leading over that.
I mean, I get what you're saying. In that instance, everybody is leading everybody then. That means the homeless man. Right. That means the homeless man. Point right there. But I'm saying, like, we getting into semantics because that's, and I'm not trying to compare this to the woman. I'm just using this as an example, as an analogy. So that's like saying, you know, if I was trying to figure out how to get to Starbucks and the homeless man was like, yo, it's right over there. He led me to Starbucks. So he's a leader now? So does that make that homeless man a leader now?
If he led
that situation,
would you have been lost without him? you followed that nigga directions. Hell yeah, he's a leader.
You were led.
Right, but see, that's why I'm trying to point out. In certain instances, we all get led here and there by shit. Your child might know some shit. Daddy, that's how you
exactly.
So now kids are leaders now. What I'm
That's
talking
big.
about
That's
is
big,
a
big
real.
Christian right there.
What'd you say?
I said that's big Krish saying that shit. That's big Krish.
Big Chris.
Big Krish.
I think that, you know, we were able to, because I like how you try to, you'll agree and then you'll hurry up and try to like twist it or spin it. So I'm
not trying to twist nothing. I'm just giving you my perspective. I'm just saying, just because somebody leads in certain instances doesn't make them a leader. Like
Nor
a leader
did I
is
say
somebody.
that.
What I mean
didn't
by
say that
leader,
either. You said that you as a man are not going to be allowed to be led by a woman. And we
right?
just broke down
When
a
it comes
scenario of
to
when you have
major,
been led by a woman. I just want you to agree to that, and I'm done.
you said you
You
want me
were
to agree.
led by a woman in certain
Hey,
at
put
certain
that
points.
comment up.
Hey,
At
I'll
certain
let you
times.
have it.
Thank you.
I'll let you have that. I still slightly disagree, but I'm so sorry. I want to agree with you, but I just don't. I just don't.
So
I do get
That's
what you're
it.
saying. I do get what you're saying, though, for sure.
So leadership can, I'm not saying hold dominion over. I've never said that, right? I think
Yeah,
that's where it gets confused because, and that's the male ego that is like,
it's
nah,
not
ain't no
the
bitch
male
about to
ego.
lead me.
It
It's
is.
not that we're trying to lead or, you know, hold power over or anything like that. Behind every strong man is a strong woman. I'm pretty sure that if you love your wife and you have her around you, you see strength in her or you would not have her around you, right?
Right.
He has to be able to lead you in certain things. And it might be emotional support. It might be, you know, just love. She might be leading you in love. I don't know. But I know as a woman, the qualities that I bring, and I can bring those leadership roles or characteristics, if you will, into, I might lead you into loving yourself more than you were able to
Yeah.
before. I
I
see
mean,
different
in that instance,
that you don't see in you.
in that instance, you're right. I guess all of us at some point, you know, does take on a leadership. Meaning, when we take in certain instances, we take on that leadership role.
It would
So
be. It would be.
well, all I'm saying, because I think we just have a slight misunderstanding. When I say in leadership, like being a leader, I'm talking about at all times. Like you are a leader of men, you're a leader of women, you're a leader of nations, you're a leader of groups of people, like a full-blown leader. I mean, all of us got leadership qualities.
And you
in
would
that
also, by
sense.
default, be a follower.
Mm-hmm.
What you say?
I said, and you would also, by default, be a follower. Explain to me an instance where you can lead in totality without following something.
Y'all funny as shit. Yeah, I say I be twisting words. Y'all be twisting the shit out some words.
I don't know how I just
Hey.
twisted that.
If we
is what
pull
it
up
is.
the
I feel like
definition,
y'all know exactly what I mean, but y'all trying to nitpick it to the smallest detail and make everybody in the world leaders because everybody leads everybody in certain instances. That's not what I'm talking about. If that's what y'all mean by leadership, sure, we're all leaders. Children are leaders, women are leaders, men are leaders. But I'm talking about in a relationship, in a marriage, in serious positions in the world, like being a judge, being a fucking president, being a ruler. The man should be the predominant leader. That, let me say that, the dominant majority of the time, he should be the leader. I ain't saying 20% of the time.
Why?
The woman can't
based on
come.
what?
Why?
Based on the nature of reality, biology. This is how it was designed, my nigga. Masculine energy leads feminine energy. This has always been how it is.
No, what are you talking about?
Does electrons not do the electron is a feminine charge. The electron is a feminine charge and it spirals around. And it spirals around the proton. The sun is a masculine energy, it's fire. And the planets, they surround and spiral around the sun. This is science, my nigga. I'm not saying.
But you're at that point you're talking about energy. Right now, I'm saying
we are energy.
Okay, but listen to this. In nature, male or female, for instance, if it's a mother bear, she's gonna raise both male and female from start to finish, which means she's teaching the man how to be a man, how to survive in in nature, and she's
So I
also
don't
teaching
know.
the female. But I'm just saying,
I don't know a lot about bears, but the father
I'm
not
just
around.
saying, in
The father
nature,
don't stick around.
no.
Oh, so I didn't know that. I didn't know that about bears. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
and
saying?
I mean
Them niggas fucked
there's a
up.
lot of different species that do that though, where the mom is actually raising the child, cheetahs, like all types of shit. They do
Okay.
that. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
to
We're
that's what I'm
humans
saying.
though.
Like it's a balance. You're gonna get it on both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I just know, hey, I respect y'all position. And if y'all want to let y'all women lead 50-50 with y'all, y'all can do that.
What about
I
a
ain't on
female?
that
What
time.
about a female governor?
That's inappropriate.
Why?
It's inappropriate. Bruh. So all right. And I need to sharpen up. I need to sharpen up on my politics. But what is the role of a governor? What does a governor do?
Why you automatically discredit if you don't know?
Nah, because
They make decisions.
when it come to
Well,
political positions.
look, we could just
I don't think.
generalize it, but they're in charge of a whole, like California. We have a governor of California, so
Yeah.
they're in charge of what's going
Government.
on in in California. They're signing certain bills into action for people of California.
Yeah. I don't
So
think. I'm
female
sorry. I
governors,
personally don't think it's appropriate
But
why?
why? What's the
because
logic behind it?
because it's a good chance. I'm not saying this is always the case. I really hate having this conversation. I love it, but I hate it at the same time because I'm gonna come off as a somewhat of, like, I'm not trying to come off as a misogynist or like none of that type of shit. Like
Hey, if it
I
happens,
love it. What'd you say?
I said if it happens.
Right, but that's not my intention. Like I love women and respect and appreciate the value that they bring. I just feel like there's certain roles that a man's supposed to be in positions, and there's certain positions that a woman's supposed to be in. That don't mean that her position is less than. Her position is necessary for our survival as humans. I'm not trying to discredit her importance in nature in the world. That's retarded. I'm just saying, me personally, I think men should be in those type of positions as governor, as president,
But
rulers,
why?
and shit like that. Because these decisions can, as a woman, it's a possibility that her decisions can be made. It's a possibility that her decisions can be made from emotion and not from logic, not from rationality. And I see it in my day-to-day life. I see it everywhere. Like, if y'all don't see it, y'all don't see it. But come on now,
Did you not earlier say that men make decisions based off of they have the emotional and the knowledge? The
I said
emotion and the knowledge?
men have more emotional intelligence as far as they don't get emotional in serious situations. They don't fall under, like, they don't crumble, they don't ball into a ball and cry because things ain't going the way that it should. A real man not gonna do that, no matter how bad the
What do they
situation
do
is.
in place of? So what makes them significantly greater that they're doing in place of sitting there and crying or whatever?
I'm sorry, say again.
What's the significant difference that they're doing that women can't do? Because apparently women just ball up and cry. What are
I
men
didn't
doing
even
that's
say it
making
like
them
that, but
significantly greater?
no, I was just saying a man shouldn't do that. But you saying what makes a man? What makes it more? You saying, wait, my bad. I think I get what you're trying to ask. You're asking.
Instead of balling up and crying, what is the man doing that makes him more emotionally intelligent?
Being able to take receive what's going on, calculate it in his mind what's the next logical step, and do that without wasting time, um,
Time don't exist to me, honey. You can't use that one.
without waste. See, this is what happens when you debate spiritual people, man. But I'm saying, and this ain't all instances because the world is wild now. Like shit, it then got all off balance. So, but I'm saying, naturally, in a situation where the shit is going down, the man is the more likely one to be able to calculate and assess the situation, come up with a plan right now instead of panicking and becoming emotional about the situation. That's my opinion. I mean, I think it's a fact, but I'm gonna just say that's my opinion. If y'all can't agree with that,
and
I don't know
women
where y'all live at.
and women do what
I ain't
you
saying
just
women
now.
can't do it.
No,
It's more rare.
I'm
It's not natural.
saying. So you said that women would do that in certain situations.
If they had to, but some of them can't. You got the rare women who actually are able to be like, oh shit, I gotta calculate this.
When
This
you
is what I
say
gotta
rare,
do.
when you say
It's
rare,
rare.
give us a percentile.
I don't know the exact. Come on, bro. This is what y'all.
No,
This is what you
listen. Because the reason why I'm saying that, because you would equally say that all men aren't like that, right? But you would, but at that instance, you would
That's
say,
how
why not?
men. That's sadly, I gotta say this, but that's how men should be. But they're not being raised that way no more.
So what's
They're not
that
being
percent?
raised that
So
way
okay,
because a lot of
cool.
them are being raised by single mothers, and even if they did have a father, these men. We live in a society
So
where
what's the
men are
percent?
being feminized.
So what's the percentile of men that's an example of what you're giving right now? I just want to know.
I mean, because it's like I haven't done the study on. I would have to take 100 men and 100 women. I would take 100 men
figures?
and 100 women, put them in stressful situations, and see who responds. And I would have to do a real life test to give you a real percentage.
And I appreciate that answer. I appreciate that.
Based on what I have perceived throughout my whole life.
There we go.
You know, this is what I have noticed, and I watch. I watch people. I watch how people react to situations, and from my perspective, I guess you could say subjective perspective, I see it that men are. I mean, they teach us this in biology, but that men are able to assess the situation without becoming emotional about it.
Can I use a real life scenario with this same thing? I was doing clinical rotation. Those of you who don't know, I'm a cardiac nurse, right? I literally save lives, right? Before I went to teaching. I was in a scenario where we had a patient doing check-in into a mental psych facility. And the patients who come in a lot of the times are chemical dependency patients. So we don't know what's in their system as they're walking through the door, right? We had a male MD at the front doing intake. The patient coded, which means that their heart stopped and they crashed. That male MD got emotional and frantic and didn't know what to do in that situation, to where I had to lead him to go get me the oxygen tank because I got this right here. Let me get you in the position that I need you in, because in medical, we're taught to step back, pull our emotional self out of the equation, assess the scene for safety, and then do what we need to do skill-wise, right? That's my thought process when I walk into, even with my mom, my mom died on me. I did over 20 minutes of CPR. I had to separate that woman, child, daughter emotion and kick into medic and go into trying to sustain and bring my mom's life back, right?
Right.
I didn't get emotional. I didn't get frantic at that time of service. After the fact, I got frantic, I got sad, I got emotional, I went through all the shit. In the situation as presented, given, I had to critically think and assess rather than act on emotions. Like I said, I redirected that male who credentially is above me, right? Went to school, has more knowledge than me and everything, and should be a leader in that situation. Redirecting. I need you as a body to go get me oxygen. I got this right here.
Yo, I appreciate you sharing that story. That shit is really deep. Honestly, that shit makes me sad, that even happened, because that just shows the sad state of males. And that's why these conversations, like these debates, I'm speaking from a man's perspective, like of what I see a man as. But obviously it ain't a lot of them in the world. So this debate can't really go where I want it to go, because it ain't a lot of examples of what I'm talking about in this age right now, which is sad as fuck. But I feel like that's a reflection.
Are you sure there's not a lot of men, or you just won't equate them to what your definition of a man is? Because I see a lot of men, but I see that a lot of men equally need that balance of that female. You know what I mean? And they need.
I ain't saying we don't need the balance of a female, but in that situation where he became emotional and he crumbled under pressure, I don't care what nobody say. And man, you could call it my definition of a man, but that was not manly.
Can
That
I
was
ask you
feminine.
something?
That was
Has
feminine.
anybody ever died in front of you?
Nah.
Don't judge it until you're put in that situation. Men
Yeah,
fold.
I get
They
it. That
fold with
sounds like
death.
a tough situation.
I've seen it over 20 years in clinical rotation. Men fold
Right.
with death. They don't know how to process that at that time. I'm not saying all men. I'm not saying women don't. But I have seen men fold under situations like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shit, that shit is tough, man. I get it. And it's dope that you was able to, maintain your composure in that situation. But I mean, you're right. I get it. I get your point.
Thank you.
It's a sad state of the world.
Why do you keep doing that? You're putting it off on the world. You're putting it off on the world. You're putting it off on the world, man.
I mean, I just feel like, and I'm not disagreeing with nothing you saying. It saddens me that men are being so weak. Not to say he was weak, because you're right. That's a tough situation to deal with for any human. Definitely, that's going to be a little bit of more of a shocker than a regular stressful situation. But it just saddens me that so many men nowadays are so emotional. You know what I mean? And not able to be logical and shit like that. That's what I mean by that. That's why I say it's a sad state of the world, because that shit is too common right now.
Krish,
That shit is way too common.
Do you think that's because we live in a patriarchal society ran by men?
Nah, we don't live in a patriarchal society for real. We live in a patriarchy that's actually behind the scenes being ruled by women.
Why is that? Why is that? Let's hold on to that.
Because the white man gave up his power. The white man gave up his power to the white woman a long time ago with the feminist movement, and we don't really live in a patriarchy no more. It looks like we live in a patriarchy, but women are ruling everything right now.
So wait, when did the switch happen then?
Y'all ain't see it? That's it, bro. What?
No. Please explain.
Bro, watch this
that
shit.
That happened when? When did that happen? Obama? That happened to Obama, right?
It kind of started in it began. Yeah, Obama, he enforced it. It began in what is that? Yeah, I want to say 1965 is really when it really began, but it became a real thing when Obama gave gay rights and shit like that for them to get married. But you don't see the emasculation of men everywhere in every movie and every TV show, everywhere we go.
I'm saying
we don't live in a patriarchy. Men ain't running shit. Women and gay people are running the world. And I'm not even supposed to say that. I can get us blocked.
All I'm trying to figure out. This is all I'm trying to figure out is when did the switch happen from when men was running?
I can't pinpoint the exact date, but you know the switch happened. Tell me you don't know the switch happened.
I'm trying to see from your eyes right now. I don't know
the exact date. I'm just looking at the world around me. This ain't ran by men no more. We ain't really running shit.
So when it came to signing the bills, when it came to signing those bills, you're saying the men that was actually signing it into law, they wasn't the ones doing it. It was somebody else.
Bruh. They were under the influence of MK Ultra.
Reaching.
Hey,
my dude.
Hey, look, man.
We can't do that, bro.
I'm fucking with you. I'm not. I said that on purpose. Bro, all I'm saying is the feminist movement, the white man has folded. A lot of the decisions that the men are making in the government is to fit the new narrative, the feminine I can't find the words, but
when you said the
LGBT gay mafia.
You said it's the white man, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
White women. The liberal white
women. Would you say that they're more superior than black people, I guess?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I wouldn't say they're more superior than us. They got the illusion. They trying to create the illusion that they're more superior than us. But
does that deem true?
What'd you say?
Does that deem true?
What do you mean?
Because you just now said that we're living in their society right now, and they're the ones who basically created the narrative for how it's going right now. So would you say that they're dominantly or dominating us, or whoever you're trying to say that they put that position in play for?
Yeah, I mean, they making the power moves and shit like that behind the scenes. I mean, I don't believe in their supremacy. Obviously,
you just now gave them supremacy by saying that.
By saying what?
What you just said.
What, that they're making the moves? I mean, we know that white people dominate the government. Like they are making, but that don't mean they're superior to us. I mean, they trying to create that scale.
So if they, according to what you're saying, you said that they put that plan in motion and it's actually happening right now, correct? Because you said the switch happened. Yeah.
Right.
At that point in time, you're giving them power in the situation. Am I correct or not?
I'm just stating what the facts is. I mean, that's what they're doing.
Okay, right. So you would equally say that they are more superior.
You trying to put words in my mouth?
You don't have to come out and verbally say it, but I'm saying the conclusion of your idea is to say that they put a plan in motion and it worked. That's all I'm asking.
It's working right now, but this shit ain't gonna last forever. So
what's gonna change? How is it gonna change?
Us. Me.
But you're acting like it never was before the change. It's just publicized heavily now.
I'm acting like what never was.
What you were saying about LGBTQ, like they never existed.
No, they existed, but they didn't have power. They didn't have fucking power over our lives and putting this shit in our media and trying to shove that shit down our throats. This shit is more recent.
Yeah, because we didn't have media like that.
Okay, now watch this. Then. Equally, I don't even want to go there because it seems silly. But equally, black people didn't have the same power that we have in media too. So, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what I was trying to walk you to without trying to go there is that there's a natural way of how things are going to work, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So ultimately, I'm trying to ask you, do you think that this is a natural way of how things go? We can't blame anybody. It just is what it is. Because you said we're naturally energy, right? Everybody's energy. So if everybody's energy, can you really direct how energy is going to go? Who's the author of energy?
Right.
Me. Right. Prince Krishna. Nah, just playing.
So you got this shit fucked up then.
So right now, the way that things are going, it is a part of nature, but let's be clear, things changed according to the age that we're in. Right now, according to Vedic astrology and Hinduism, we're in the age of Kali. The age of Kali means the age of ignorance. So
that's not the same as the Egyptian one going into the age of Aquarius.
Right.
So there's some sort of confliction there.
Yeah, it is a little bit of confliction, but and we ain't got to go there. So because it's 4 different ages in Hinduism. This ain't really astrology that I'm talking. It's astrology, but it's not zodiac astrology. This is more so like the precession of the equinox. You know, the way that the earth wobbles. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But we are in the age of Kali according to that, which is the age of ignorance, where all of this shit is, all this shit flourishes, this irreligious, non-spiritual, worshiping the flesh type of mentality, thrives.
So it's still natural.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, sure. But it's definitely it's not the
right way. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's good.
It's not the highest frequency of what is. It's the lowest. It's the low frequency of what is.
What's the difference between the high and the low?
Good question.
There could be many answers to that, but
you're a man that understands chakras. Do you consider higher chakras and lower chakras?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you equate that to what I'm about to ask you, or do I got to ask you?
So the difference, I'm gonna just give my difference between higher and low. I get where you're going with this. Right. So the lower frequency is the lower the frequency go, the more dense things become, and the slower the vibrational rate. So more physical, the more it becomes more matter and gross material. The higher the frequency goes,
I'm sorry, go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, and the higher the frequency goes, the more spiritual, the more non-physical things become.
So the highest is the highest and the lowest is the lowest, but when we're talking about just the low being having a purpose, it would still serve a high purpose, right?
Right. Yeah, to cause growth.
Exactly.
So at this point in time,
it's like the soil.
So at this point in time, I'm just dealing with purpose right now. So don't, I just want you to follow me because sometimes I just be ahead of shit, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes down to what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying, because you say we're in some stage right now, right? And you said I thought you was gonna say that this is a fucked up state, which is which that's you're entitled to your opinion. That's absolutely fine, but it's a process
I'm gonna be objective.
It's a process that has to happen, right?
Right. Yeah, we in the gym. We in the spiritual gym.
So it has purpose.
Yeah, it got purpose. I never said that it did.
So
okay.
It's needed, yeah.
So basically, it'd be equal to the high shit, right?
Yeah. Without it, you wouldn't have the high shit.
And that's what I mean.
Right.
That's what it is.
It's balance. There has to be low to be high, and vice versa.
Yeah.
One don't work without the other. They can't recognize another.
Exactly.
I'm digesting what y'all saying, and I get what you're saying. It's all connected.
Because I had to paint that picture, and that's why sometimes I hate going, because I'll be out of there, right? So I'm trying to relate that to what you're saying with the male and the female position, right?
Right.
Now in that male and female position, you would say, and there's nothing wrong with your perspective, right? Or your perception of how you look like, you know what I mean? How you rock is how you rock. But I just want you to be open to the balance of things and how things work. That's the only thing that we're talking about in this discussion is the necessary balance of things and how things naturally work. Even if we don't agree with how it goes, we have to rock and we got to let that shit ride out. We have to do it. Otherwise, why are we here? Why are we here?
Right, exactly.
Right. So now I get what you're saying, right? So if everything serves a purpose, even what I'm saying serves a purpose. My perspective, it just as much as your perspective serves a purpose, but and I get what you're saying because you're taking it to the absolute, which is beautiful. We unconscious. I get exactly what you're saying. Everything is the lower and the higher is. But I think you kind of get to a point where, it kind of sound like y'all are suggesting that we do nothing, just let everything be as it is, which is very zen. I get it.
Let me say that. Let me say something to that because I love that you say that. I love that you say that because the natural thing that we want to do, because we're still trying to figure self out, right? So naturally, when something doesn't sit right with this, we want to be like, hold on, what's this? What's that? And we're naturally on the humanistic understanding of how things are going. But sometimes they could just be like, hey, bro, I'm going to smoke this blunt. We just going to see what's happening. You understand what I'm trying to say? So the natural flow of things is sometimes the best thing. Sometimes doing nothing is doing the best thing.
That's doing the best thing. Sometimes you can't. You're not.
That's deep. And I think about this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sometimes it's not. I mean, things have to be in their natural state. We're not here to change that natural order.
So wait. So check this out though, because y'all want to take it to the absolute, we got to include everything. So us not doing anything and just letting things be as they are, that's one approach, and that's nature. But me doing what I'm doing is also nature. So how you know me counteracting what's happening wasn't also a part of the plan.
And you're absolutely
in another direction.
Exactly, and you're absolutely right.
So
right?
all of us, even in this conversation, everywhere we're saying everything is happening for a reason.
Right.
To push things. So my stance, I'm that force of nature. And y'all stand, you're that force of nature.
There we go.
At the end of the day, this just is. This conversation just
There
is
we
what
go.
it is.
Exactly.
There we go. So
Exactly.
equate that to the woman when you say that, hey, they gonna have a way that they lead, and I got a way how I lead, and we're all leaders in this shit. That's the point.
No. So, but your perception of the leadership, that's what nature has led you to come to the understanding of. My perception of leadership is what nature has led me to how I view it.
That's a
So
fact.
we can't really say who's right or who's wrong. Shit, maybe
That's a
both of
fact.
us are right.
That's a fact.
But you know, my stance is my stance, and I resonate with my stance. I have my reasons for thinking the way I did. Things led me to come to these conclusions, just like things led you to come to your conclusions. Not into this end of this shit or the new beginning of this shit, because there is no end to this shit. But one day maybe we'll see why all this shit was happening.
Do you think that there's a cap on anything?
Is there a cap on anything? It depends what you mean. You know, that's kind of a broad statement.
I'm sorry. Let me be more specific. Do you think that we are eternal beings?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if we're eternal beings, do you think that it's going to be a point in time to where, even in your reality or of your understanding, or maybe in a different lifetime, that you may experience that the woman just may be the leader? Do you think that that's a possibility in the endless possibilities of what we call eternity?
So I believe
go ahead.
I believe that there, even though all type of random things happen,
there's nothing random.
No,
I'm sorry. I have to say that. There's nothing random.
Hear me out.
Go ahead,
I get that. Yeah. I get everything. But even though all these things happen, these different things happen, there is a grand intent. That's my perception. There's a grand intention. Like, life isn't just a free-for-all where this exists just so everybody can just do whatever they want, and that's just what life is. Yes, we do that, but there is a grand intent for life. There's a direction that life is going in. There is a certain order that we should maintain. Because if we just
what's that order?
So I gotta be careful.
Look, I'm right. I was listening for a minute, but I'm tapped in right now, so I'll just
that's cool. I take my time with my answers. I don't like just flying off the top of the head. You did. So there's so many different ways I can go with that. I'm gonna use this small example, then I'm gonna expand on it, but you can interject at any point. Sure, so just to give an example, you got the 42 laws of Maya. You understand what I'm saying? And there are things, according to that order, that is what we should do as humans. That's our order. That's how we maintain righteousness and purity.
Does everybody follow those laws?
No, they don't.
So you're saying that we should keep it, but we don't. So when
I'm saying but there is a reaction when we don't, a negative reaction.
And what happens after that?
Is that not nature telling us something? If you do some shit, if you do some shit that's against, let's say the 42 laws of Maya, I use that as an example, and then you get a negative reaction from that negative action,
then a new law is created.
And what's the new law? and what's the new law?
Listen to this. If you said that we can go outside of the natural laws, then that means that they would have to create a new law. It would not allow us to go against those natural laws.
Yeah, it would be a part of the law.
Exactly.
No.
Wait.
It's called free will.
Listen to. Thank you. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, and I'm gonna say it again. And I tried to say it earlier. If we are eternal beings, right? There should not be only 42 laws. There's no cap.
There isn't, yeah.
There's 42 laws that was written and understood and agreed amongst a certain group of people. We get it. but there is no cap. There's none. Because
So,
then you would have to say
that
you would have
everything goes in the universe?
What don't? Everything that is. What don't go?
Okay, so look, but what I'm saying is, if certain actions have a negative reaction,
even positive actions have a negative reaction. You want an example?
Sure.
A parent comes home with a kid's bike. Kid is full of positive energy. He's running around the house crazy. He knocks over a goddamn plant. Guess what? The plant breaks, and the mother tells him, "You're grounded." When you ground something, it's usually being in negative energy. If we're going to keep that balance, right? Go ground yourself. The car battery, the ground of that battery is negative energy. You understand what I'm trying to say? So too much of that positive energy can lead to a negative situation. Too much of a good thing will lead you to some bad shit. You know this.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, so that balance has to be there.
Right. So,
I can go all day, but I'm trying to let you.
I'm gonna rock with you. I'm gonna rock with you on that. So he was so positive, he knocked over the lamp, then he got a negative response from that. I get what you're saying, right? And I'm not saying that one should be hyper positive or hyper excited if you want to equate excitement with positive energy. My stance is that we should be equipoise. We should be at a balance or at peace, at a levelness. But that is the middle way. That is the highest way. But my point is that, you know, the intent is for us to be pure and to make good decisions. That's the intent of what y'all will call the I am.
What is pure though?
Purity is it's a lot of definitions to that, but I'm gonna give mine.
Can you get purity from negative energy?
What you say?
Can you get purity from negative energy?
Can you get purity from negative energy? All right, well, I'll address that in a second. Let me
Okay, my bad. I just want to plant seed. Go ahead.
Let me state my point. When I say the intent is for us to be pure, no matter how long that takes you to reach that state, it may take you many lifetimes. The intent for your soul is to reach that pure state of transcendence, and basically where you are free of contamination of material desire. You're unpure when you're full of material desire and you are basically consumed with your animal nature. You become pure when you no longer are attached to your material desire and you are at one and just self-satisfied. You know what I mean? That's when you purify the self, when you no longer are materially contaminated. Because
what though?
Thank you. I was just going to ask that.
What teaching?
Where are you getting that from?
Or what education? I mean, where's this knowledge coming from?
This is from my understanding, this is the ancient knowledge. This is the original knowledge.
From who?
This originated with.
From where?
So the furthest text that this knowledge came from, the furthest back written text that this knowledge originated from was called the Vedas, the 4 Vedas. And the Vedas actually existed before it was written down. It was passed from mouth to mouth, from guru to disciple, from master to student. This was held by the sages and the yogis until it was written down into the books called the 4 Vedas. From my understanding, this is the eternal knowledge. This has always been what is. You know, we have always been spirits in the material world trying to get back to our natural state as pure spirit souls, transcendental to this material world. That's the eternal truth.
Who's the creator?
You said who's the creator?
Who's the creator?
Yeah, we're trying to get down to the actual source of what you're speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
So who's the creator of this knowledge?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't gonna believe me if I told y'all. Y'all not. But one day you possibly will. But I'm gonna just say it. So this knowledge was given directly to the first created being from the supreme being. It was given to Lord Brahma, who is the first created being. And Lord Brahma taught it to his children that he created with his mind. And then they filled the universe up with living entities. You know what I'm saying? And this is the eternal truth. It was given directly from the supreme being to the first created being. That first created being is the supreme spiritual master of the whole entire physical universe. And that being is basically the originator, or you could say the first teacher of the Vedas. And I know y'all ain't gonna believe that. I mean, I can't prove this shit to y'all. I can't prove this shit to y'all, but this is what I know.
I just want to know. I just want to know.
Yeah. So that's what it is, man. I mean, when we get down to the source of this shit, that's what shit get real magical and weird, and it's kind of hard to prove it because I can't tell Lord Brahma to come down here right now and show itself to you. Maybe I will one day. If I can, I promise you I will.
But that sounds like all religion to me. You like nothing.
What's wrong with religion? See,
I didn't
this
say
is
there's
the thing.
anything wrong with it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just asking, you know, as far as the creator, what part are you playing in this system then? What is your position? You, Krishna, what is your position in this at all?
Basically, so damn, yeah, why would you ask me that? But all right, fuck it, I'll tell you. Y'all ain't gonna believe me once again.
Oh God.
So all right, man, I'm the Buddha, right? I'm actually the incarnation of Buddha. I don't even like telling people this because I'm not trying to be one of those people. I'm God and I come back to fuck all of that. If you find out, you find out. If you don't, you don't. But so I literally came back. My position in this is to reestablish this knowledge in the world and basically to put it into atheism and the irreligious to restore the original knowledge in the world and reestablish religion.
Let me pause you right there.
Okay.
Who created what you just now said that you came here to stop?
Who created what?
You said that your mission is to do what?
To reestablish the ancient knowledge, to bring this knowledge back to the people, and basically remove irreligion and atheism from the world.
That's what I'm saying.
To reestablish the religious principle.
So how did atheism and other religious beliefs come into play? Who established that?
It comes into play through ignorance. So okay, I get where you're going with this. You saying God created all of this.
That's a fact.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying. So even the atheists and the non-believers and all of that shit somehow, some way still came from the source. But this is why this is all a play, bro. And it's all a lesson in it all. But us as living entities, as spirit souls, when we come into these physical bodies, we become subject to the three modes of material nature, which is the mode of ignorance, the mode of passion, and the mode of goodness. Yes, the three modes of material nature is created by God, but it is a test for the humans to overcome in order for our souls to grow.
Wait. Hold on, wait. So what was the purpose of humans being created then?
In order for us to grow. So really, the real purpose of us being created is to give us the experience of having individual souls. You know what I mean?
As who though? From who?
Right.
As God from God.
And so ultimately we're all gods, right?
Right, absolutely.
So on a human scale, we can't be judged by a God that we are ultimately, right?
You can't be just. Oh, I mean, okay, so
you judging yourself.
Meaning that there is no error at this point in time.
You are judging yourself, as Krishna. So a portion of us remained completely pure and uncontaminated by material energy. Like, So we created the material energy, and then we impregnated a portion of ourselves into the material energy. This is where our egos come into existence, these individual souls that we are. So ultimately, we came from the source, but there's a portion of the
That's what I'm
source that still
saying.
remains. But there's a portion of the source that still remains external, but simultaneously internal to the material world. But
So
that portion of us
let
that's
me ask
outside of the material energy is the grand witness and observer of all of this.
let me ask you a straight question.
It's like we're the children. We're like children. So
I get
it's
that.
like saying, can your father judge your children? Like,
Let me ask you
he's
a
there.
straight question, though. Let me ask you a straight question. My bad, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, and I'm gonna let you go as soon as I ask this. So,
And hopefully we're not going on too long. I don't know if y'all got some shit to do.
no,
you
you
good now. Yeah, you
Okay.
we solid. Yeah.
So
All right,
when it comes down to the God, right? Because the God, you said that God created us to do what?
I said he gave us the experience of being individual souls, and
So
then
hold
to
on, wait,
grow,
right there. So that's
Yeah.
as him, though, right? That's as him.
Yeah, I mean, we're portions of him. Yeah, we're him. Ultimately, yes. We are
Okay.
him.
So, and this is my question. So, is it safe to say that God don't know who God is?
And that's
No,
the
I don't understand how you come to that conclusion.
Why did God create us then? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the purpose of creation?
right.
To create more God, to create more God in the form of individual souls.
But God is
all this shit.
God is already
All right, so
everything.
hear me. All right, so check this out, right?
Because that's my point. Like, if
And
he's
that's
not
why I always say
everything,
that this is
he
a
don't know
play. This
himself.
is no. How would God not know itself though? I don't understand what you mean.
Why would he have
Okay.
to create
You
individuals
you
to be a
just
reflection
now
of
So
him?
you just now
so
said
you
earlier
think that God
you just now
created
said
humans in
earlier
order to learn what God is?
But
you
God
just now
created
said
everything to
you just now
understand what it is.
you said
Would you
earlier
go?
that it's a test going on, right?
Right. It's for our growth, so we can experience being God as
So why
individuals.
would you test
Well,
yourself?
So why would you test yourself?
That's all I
Okay,
was asking.
I get where y'all going with this. So
You test yourself to know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't never ran a mile under 4 minutes, you about to test yourself and see if you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And then once you accomplish it, you understand a certain aspect of yourself now.
Right. So you
You know what I'm
basically
saying?
saying
And
that
that's what
God,
it is. Once it splits itself up into everything, it has to experience that to get all those different aspects of itself to understand what and who it is.
right. Nah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
definitely resonate with that. But if you have an aspect of us that is still completely on the outside and who has, all right, so look at it like this, right? God has done this shit more times than we could ever even imagine. So God, us, knows itself by now. If you've been doing this for eternity. So when he decides to
Does
create this
eternity have
material
a cap on it? I'm
manifestation,
sorry.
how do you know that he don't do
I
this
know.
as a pastime? How do you not know that God just does this for entertainment for himself and for the purpose
Trying to use
and
board.
simultaneously for the purpose to grow? You're right. So I'm not saying that God doesn't collect information by doing this and know itself. But that doesn't, like, okay. Why do y'all think that means that you should disregard that aspect of ourselves? Like, since I am God, fuck God. That don't make sense to me. You get what I'm saying?
But you're equally saying that we got to get rid of something in which we are. You said I come to remove something. But this is God. We are God. We don't need to remove anything.
Or get back
To
to
restore
anything.
balance. Okay.
Also.
We're already here.
So you think
So God. So who set off the balance?
God.
that's why I continue to say that this is a play. All right, man. I get y'all perspective, yo, but y'all not understanding the details of what I'm saying.
I understand. I understand
I
that.
definitely understand.
No, you're missing the part. You're missing the key.
you're
missing
trying
the
to.
key.
I know exactly what you're doing because you had did it before, but it's like somehow you're trying to separate God by saying it's an external aspect, but this external aspect can still view the internal aspect of a human. Like, how is that possible without it being connected? And
I never said that they wasn't connected. So that
Are they
aspect
working
of
together?
God that
Are
is
they working
still
together?
external to this material universe is extremely wise, all powerful, and has all knowledge. I'm not saying you're not that. That's where y'all keep getting confused. What I'm saying is that it's the purpose of him creating this is more than just him learning himself. This experience is for us. Like, damn, it's so it's sad that y'all can't understand what I'm saying.
Who
You
is
gotta make
I
us?
understand exactly what you're saying.
Who is us?
Okay.
Right. Right.
When you say us, we are God. Like, so what do you mean us? Because now when you separate us, that means that we have to serve purpose to what this God is, because he can't do that on his own. So now we are doing a service to God. How people say we serve God, we're doing a service to God. Because God don't know. He can't come down here in the physical. So he created some motherfuckers who could. And at that point, and if you agree with that,
you're separating us from God when you say that, though. Because how you gonna
I'm saying,
and he can't do it when we are him?
I'm saying according to what you're saying, because that's ultimately what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
When you separate what we are from God, then that's what you're saying.
I never separated what we are from God. I'm not saying that we're not God.
Okay, so
watch. I'm
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you. Wait. Why you are saying that? I'm gonna tell you. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna tell you why you are saying that.
Y'all not letting me finish without interjecting.
Watch. Watch. Real quick. And I promise you. You said that we have to remove something, right? That you came to remove something.
What did I say? Did I come to remove?
Imbalance.
I said atheism and irreligion.
Where did that come from?
We already established this part.
It came from that's that word twist and shit. I get what you saying, but
it's not a word twist. I'm asking you a straight question.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? Because if we're gods manifested in the human flesh, we're still gods. Don't get it twisted. Right. So if you even blame it on human, it's still coming from God.
Okay, so look, so it came from God, right? But like I told you, right? When God created the material world, it was just as a simulation in order for the individual souls that he created, as if like children, to grow through. So when he comes in human form, in order to assist his creation in realizing self, that's just to help you along the way. He didn't create the material world in order for you to stay stuck in it forever. He created it as an obstacle for you to overcome. You get what I'm saying? So that's why he comes to just restore the knowledge to help you back on your journey to Godhead.
He's helping himself.
Who is you? Who is you? You keep on saying he restoring you or helping you. He created you to go through this. Why do we need to go through this?
In order to grow as individual souls.
For what?
For what?
So that you can tap back into your constitutional position.
We didn't exist. We didn't exist.
We got.
So we can't go back to nothing if we didn't exist.
That means we wouldn't have.
We couldn't go back to nothing if we did this. I asked you why we were created, and you said to go to something back. You said go back. Why were we created to go back?
No.
That's the beginning.
Not to go back. Okay, so that's why I say y'all won't let me finish, right? When I say maybe I shouldn't say go back. I should say go to the spiritual world. It's like a game.
Did we start there?
No. So look.
So we don't belong there.
No.
We belong where we started at.
No.
So where did we start?
So look.
Hey, Woon is a home man, so we don't belong there. I'm sorry.
No, so like, where is the start to what you're saying, us?
Okay, so look, we start as okay. So before the material creation, we all inside of God, right? We're just this one being.
So wait.
Right, I'm not. But when I say go back, when I say go to the spiritual world, I'm not saying go back and merge back with God's existence. That's not what I'm saying. Listen, because you won't let me finish.
Go ahead. Right,
bro. If y'all don't want to know,
you got it. I'm gonna go on mute.
I'm finna mute my mic too. My bad. I'm finna mute my shit.
All right, look, because I mean, I get what you're saying, and this is an age-old debate, nigga. Basically, we're talking about impersonalism versus personalism. Y'all are impersonalists. When I say the spiritual world, you think I mean merge back into God's existence. So what you're saying is, why is the point? What's the point of creation if the ultimate end goal is to merge back into his existence? I'm not saying the end goal is to merge back into God's existence. I'm saying the end goal is to go to the spiritual world where souls who are able to overcome the material world can go to. It's a whole nother abode. We didn't start at that abode. You don't go to that abode. That's not where we didn't start there and come down here. We didn't exist at first. Then we were created as individual souls, still connected to God. But then as we overcome our addiction to the material world, we earn the right to go to where the victorious souls who are able to get out of the matrix goes, which is a spiritual world, a whole nother abode transcendental to this, where we're not subject to the three modes of material nature. We're not subject to pain and suffering, but we still get to maintain our individual existence as egos, but exist in that pure, holy state as God simultaneously. I'm not talking about going back and just merging back with all that is, because that would be pointless. What I'm talking about is going to the spiritual world, which is created for those who are able to overcome the illusory energy. That's what I'm talking about.
Why weren't we just?
Can I speak?
Sure.
Why, if we created, why did we not just create straight into that? Why did we have to?
Because it's a journey. It would be no point. It would be no point. That's why I said that this is a play.
Whose journey? Okay. Oh, all right. Who's play?
God's play. We are all characters in God's dream.
Thank you.
Right.
That's it.
Right. But this is the point that I'm talking about, because basically it seemed like, y'all keep basically trying to drive the point home that the purpose of existence is for us to be in the material world. But I'm saying it's deeper than that. That's one aspect of existence. And you have the free will to stay here. But there is a way to transcend this and go to a realm that is beyond this. And that is the main purpose of all of this. But the material world exists for those who desire to stay here.
So is
that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. It's your choice. I'm just saying the grand intent is for you to be wise enough to realize that this isn't the epitome of what is. This isn't where you want to stay, because you will have to be subject to reincarnation, doing this shit over and over again, suffering the same shit until you realize that you're in a dream, that this is a matrix. There is something beyond this. Y'all niggas is trying to keep the matrix, act like the matrix is the point of existence, for us to be in the matrix. That's one aspect of existence.
Why are you still here?
Bruh, because I'm in the same position as you. Listen, I'll tell you why I'm still here. Because I still had desires in me to enjoy this material world.
Who gave you those desires?
In this incarnation, I will. What'd you say?
Who gave you those desires? Or you
The
naturally have them.
material energy. That's the lesson, though. Listen, God did give you those desires,
For what?
but He also gave you. It's like it's an illusion, bro. It's like the gym. It's like putting weights on you. Like He puts this illusionary world in front of you,
For
and
what?
all these desires for you
For what?
to test you.
Hey, so you
Yo.
said
To test you?
What you say?
So God tests you?
All right, look. All right, He created it's for two reasons.
Because if he's testing what he's
one of the
created,
reasons
he's
is
still
because a
testing
portion of
himself.
himself. I'm gonna say exactly what you want to hear, and I mean it though. I'm not saying it for you. I mean what I'm about to say.
Okay.
There's a portion of God that yes, it is a portion of God that desires to be in the material world, and that is those who are here. But then there's another portion of God, which in my perception is the higher frequency aspect of God, the higher self, the desires that has no material desires, that has no other desire but to transcend this material world and be amongst those other pure souls who were able to beat the game.
now I got a question. In that place that you talking about, that the place that transcended from the material, in that place, how long do you stay there for?
For as long as you desire. Really, most souls that get there don't come back.
And they just stay there forever.
Right.
For what point? For what purpose?
Honestly,
why would you stay there forever?
if you have that question, me and my wife was just talking about that. If you have that question of like, basically, if I went there, wouldn't I want to come back? Then you're not ready to go there. Because when you go there, you will realize why you wouldn't want to come back. Because you will realize how insignificant this world is in comparison. You wouldn't want to go back into ignorance. Because this is like being asleep. Being there is like being awake. So it's like you want to go back to sleep. Some souls may want to go back to sleep. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But some souls enjoy the bliss of being awake and knowing what they are and being free. We're not free here. We're subject to the laws of nature.
Wait, hold on. It was a double question. Now, is that what you just explained? What separates that place from
where God is at?
Yeah, where God is at. What's the difference with what God got going on?
So God actually has his own, like God, that is God's abode. That's where that aspect of God lives, like and along with all the other pure devotees who are able to go there.
So wait.
You can actually be.
Let me just get this straight. Are you saying that God in that place, that's where God is actually at?
That's where he's at, but God is everywhere at the same time. So look, yeah,
right.
Because God is there. So his personal.
So he's there, and then he's down here as well.
Simultaneously, yes.
And then those is the only two places of where he's at. That's everything.
So God is in three places.
Where's
he
the
got
third
his
place?
He got his personal form, which exists in Vaikuntha. This is where this world is called. It's called the Vaikuntha planets. This is the spiritual abode, transcendental to the material world. Then his energy is also omnipresent, and it encompasses everything, the whole entire material world and the spiritual world. That's the second. It's an omnipresent. That's the I am that you guys are talking about. And then you have, he exists inside of each and every one of us, inside of our hearts. So these are the three aspects of God. You got the personal deity, is called the Bhagavan. Then you got the impersonal, which is the omnipresent, is called Brahman. And then you got the localized version of God, which is inside of all the living entities, and that's called Paramatma. So God is everywhere at once. Yes.
So
but
God
I'm saying
is
this is why
everywhere
I'm saying
at
that
once.
there's an intent. His intent is for the souls at some point in their journey to realize that they're him, but also realize that they can transcend this material world and go to the real world. Because we're not in the real world right now.
If we're him, then we already understand that.
Right.
No, we don't though. Because you understand that because you're in knowledge yourself, but then it's a bunch of other souls who really believe that the body is all that there is, and they're in an ignorant
part
state.
Of their growth. That's part of it's a reason for
right.
that.
So how you know I'm not here to help them in their growth though? To help them wake up from that. What's the point of us doing Free Your Mind podcast if we're not here to free your mind? That's all I'm just saying. I'm here to free people's mind, wake them up out of the illusion that God doesn't exist and the material world is all there is. What's wrong with that? I get what you're saying. God created it, but he also created it for you to overcome that. It's
for him to overcome that.
For him to us at him as us. But he already overcame that as his supreme self. Look,
exactly.
Look, because I get it, we are God, but it's more in a children and father way. Because, for example, you know, you got all this knowledge and wisdom. You already went through the experiences. You know who you are. But if you have a child right now, your child came directly from your body. But that child, he is you. Yes, you could say he's you, but he's not exactly you. He has his own thoughts, his own individual soul. So he got to go through his own journey to come to the same realization that you came through.
I have a
question.
question.
He's not just born with knowledge of self.
If God is in all three of these places, why do we need to move levels at all?
What you say?
If God is in all three of your places that you're talking about, why do we need to move at all? I mean, are there different levels of different gods on different places?
Yeah. So there's definitely different different deities that are all God, but they're like different portions of God.
So they're a different being then. You don't believe.
What you say?
You don't believe that you believe in something more supreme than you.
No. See, it's not that I believe that God is more supreme than me. I just understand the position that I'm in right now. In this moment, I'm in the material world. The other aspect of me that I'm calling God, the Bhagavan, I'm not trying to separate it, but like I said, it's a father and son. So it's like my son. What you say?
Like you trying to get somewhere. You trying to get out of this realm, and you trying to help other people get out of this realm.
Right.
Go ahead.
But honestly, this it all depends on what you want to do as a soul.
Exactly.
This is what free will comes down. This is what free will comes down to. And there's worlds for people who love this is what Earth is for. Also, if you want to enjoy the material world, that's your choice, and you can do this for however long you want to. But there's another way. You don't have to do that. I don't like when people make it seem like that's the whole purpose. That's an aspect of the purpose. But there's a group of us who actually enjoy being physical. We enjoy being down here, and that's cool. That's your choice. But that's not the ultimate truth. That's not the absolute truth. That's an aspect of the truth.
Do you think this is your first time here on Earth?
There's another path.
Do you think this is your first time here on Earth?
Absolutely not. I've been stuck here because of my desires.
So you keep coming back because of your desires?
Absolutely.
So you like something here?
Yes. No, I see. Right, but that's the problem.
You find some sort of aspect of something down here of yourself that you enjoy, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but what I'm saying is that's not the highest level of self, because when you reach the highest level of self,
you came from that already, though.
No, I didn't.
To get here,
you would have had to have.
No. See, that's what I said. If we was created before we was that, because we wasn't in Vaikuntha, we didn't start off in the heavenly world as souls just free, and I decided to come here. We were created.
My brother.
Naturally, if we came from God's already there.
We was already there, bro. There's no separate. Like I don't like if you have a ball of energy, right? I don't see how you can separate the ball of energy that's right here. Everything's right here. All the elements is right here. And you separate it. I don't understand how this piece is disconnected and not with this piece. It literally has everything that this has.
Right. But
so you can split it up a million times and it's going to be the same thing.
Okay, so it's like this, right? So imagine if God was a tree and he already sprouted out of the soil and he realized the absolute state of being a plant or a tree. But then that tree sent a bunch of seeds out, and then those seeds landed in the soil. The purpose of it isn't just to stay in the soil forever. You got to become a tree at some point. So that's why I said is to create more. But you have to grow. You have to evolve into what you were created to become, which is a God, which is a pure, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the purpose isn't for you to stay in the matrix forever. You were put here to grow. This is the soil. But
So
at some point, you got to get out of the soil. So you
equally, the purpose is not for us to stay.
What you say?
So equally, the purpose is for us to not to stay God.
What do you mean?
Okay, so and that probably I'm tapped in right now. Let me slow it down. You said that God is, if God created a specific plant or anything like that, then it had to have some type of purpose to something outside of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that purpose is to raise back up to a higher thing. But
right.
if it already separated itself from that, then that means God. If it already separated itself from God, then that means it don't need to stay at being God.
Mm-hmm.
If it already separated itself from being God, that means that you never don't become God. Like I'm looking at it like Steve. But what I'm saying is our full potential is when we get out of this shit.
I got a question. So
too. Go ahead, Sal. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, in that realm, that second place, after you ascend from this material plane and you're in this plane, right?
Yeah.
In this plane, is it possible for you to come to an understanding of soul, understanding between the soul and God or yourself, the higher aspect of yourself, that third aspect of yourself, to sink back in with that and become that?
You saying, can you do that while in the physical?
No, once you leave the physical and you go into that other realm that you was talking about, the second realm, can you go from there back into the main God?
Like merge into the existence, back into the source?
Yeah, because now you're not attached to nothing and you have that higher understanding. Could you merge back into that?
And you already said no.
Yeah, you can. You can, but honestly,
you said no earlier for sure.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that you can't merge back into existence. I said that's not the purpose. Look,
you said that there's a place where God resides, which was the ultimate kicker spot. Then you said that there's a middle place to where we're going to ascend to when we leave here, meaning we can't go back to where God is at.
No. Yeah.
So he just now backdoored you. He backdoored you on something that you said earlier, and he fucked you right now because you switched your answer.
No, I don't even know. I honestly don't know how you heard that, because exactly what I said is that God's personal deity form exists in the spiritual world, and I said that God is also everywhere at once, and then I said God exists inside of everybody's heart, the localized version. So when did I ever say that you can't merge back into the existence of God?
When you kept saying that you got to get back to. You have to get back to. You can't just be straight one with the source. You have to get back to.
So ultimately, ultimately, can we become Vishnu?
Yes. So what you can do is you can merge back into the existence of Vishnu. So but that is not as joyful as being a devotee of Vishnu.
Shit. Because God ain't shit. Vishnu ain't shit. That's why.
No, because if Vishnu is his devotees, no, listen, this is what's going on, right? We have more pleasure than God serving God than God has being God. So God incarnates as us in order to experience the pleasure of serving God. Because he can't.
Just because of pleasure?
Because of boredom.
No,
they got bored.
Bruh, God created the perfect dream. What do you say?
Boredom.
Right.
But what's wrong? I said that he do this as a pastime.
So With that right
Okay.
there is no consequence to that. When you say
It's a
pastime,
pastime,
there
yeah.
is no consequence
It's
for
whatever.
anything. We don't need to remove nothing. We don't need to wake niggas up. This is all some pastime shit.
Nah, no, that's
It
a
just
fact,
do.
right? Hey, all right, bet. Y'all can have that shit. Like, honestly, it's all a matter of choice at that point. It's just a matter of choice at that point, G. Like, if y'all want to stay here and enjoy the shit till the wheels fall off, be my guest. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I just got a different place that I want to go to. What's wrong with that? I want to go to the
nothing.
place where I can
There's
be
nothing wrong
right
with
next
that.
to Vishnu.
The
I
problem
want to go
is,
to the place. Huh?
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with ascension.
I'm not trying to convince y'all. Like, if y'all don't
You
care
trying to
about
convince
none of
you?
this shit that I'm talking about, then this message isn't for y'all. Y'all got y'all own destination. And so I'm not here to save everybody. I'm here to save people who want to go there. If you don't want to go there, if you don't want to transcend the material world, and you want to just be a god within the material world, that's your prerogative. You can do that. I ain't here for everybody.
Who are you saving and from what are you saving them from?
Ignorance from their lower self. I mean, it's not okay.
You just now said all this shit was a goddamn because God was bored. So you're not saving nobody. That's an illusion.
But he has okay. So God is bored and all of this is a game. He still has an intention.
You're saving people from God.
There's a way to beat the game.
You're saving people from God.
Oh my God, bro. I honestly get what you're saying.
Listen, you have to say that. You have to agree to that. Because if you're saying that this is God's illusion, or if this is God's way because he's bored,
so I'm
then you're saving people from God.
I'm saving us from our own illusion. I'm just waking us up.
So you don't like God?
Dreaming, huh?
You don't fuck with God like that.
Bruh, if we all dreaming, it's like this.
Maybe I'm too hyped up. My bad. Let me calm down.
But why would we have to be woken up though if we're already
so you can have a lucid dream? Yo, like, okay, so if God went to sleep, if an aspect of us went to sleep, and this is all a dream now,
that's God's plan, like Drake said.
But right. His goal is to become lucid in the dream.
But what if that's not our role? What if we are meant to just dream? I mean, why would we need to be woken up if we were brought here specifically to dream?
No, you was brought here so you at some point can become lucid. It wasn't for you to dream forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So you just want to continue to live life after life after life and never realize that this is a dream and that you could wake up. That's the joy of it. That's
when you wake up. When you wake up, what happens?
Well, yeah. What's the next?
When you wake up, you become free from the material body, and you get to be the soul that you are, a pure spirit soul. This free from the material world.
And then what happens after that?
Like I said, you can go to the material. You can go to the spiritual world.
I want to know where we're going. Like ultimately, what keeps happening? Because it's a cycle. Like there's no cap. You're trying to put a cap.
Those who go to Vaikuntha, even after this dream is destroyed, they don't become destroyed. The dream's not over for them. That is an eternal abode. That is an eternal.
Okay.
Only thing that's temporary is the material world. So eventually, Vishnu destroys all of this shit, and we become merged back into him. It's like he absorbs the whole entire material energy back into himself.
So okay, right there. So we don't need to do shit
point,
then.
You lose your individuality. At that point, you lose and you just merge back into Vishnu.
If he destroys this shit, then we don't need to do nothing because he's gonna destroy it anyway.
Right.
But
you lose your individuality.
You will be destroyed with the physical universe.
But
until he starts it over again. But those of us.
That's my point.
But those of us who actually got out of the material universe aren't destroyed with the dissolution. We get to remain lucid in that world.
What's the point of obtaining individuality if everything's going to be destroyed anyway?
I just told you, you get to maintain your individuality. When you go to the spiritual world, he doesn't destroy that world with the dissolution.
He's destroyed eventually.
No, that world, that's the eternal world. That's the real world.
It's eternal world too.
Bro, it's not eternal because it becomes recreated, but it's not.
That nigga's gonna get bored again, B. He's gonna get bored again.
Bruh, I get what you're saying.
It's
But
like
what I'm saying is,
it sounds to me like the kid who's playing the video game and is getting their ass beat and pulls the remote control out the console, right? The
you
game is
silly
over
as
at
shit.
that point, right? But what is the point of? I mean, what's the
You get
point?
to
of
save
trying
your
to-
profile.
what-
Your bro. So if when he destroys
He
the
said
video
second
game,
profile.
why
Yo,
do
So
I'm
we
you,
telling
have to
you.
so
save
you
our
get to be the
profile?
same motherfucker with the same mind and shit. Like
Right,
what?
right.
Yeah.
So what?
Yo,
Horrible.
Okay, but
so all right. Let me ask you
logically,
this. So if you had a choice, you know, master the self, transcend the material desires, and your soul, you don't have to be subject to reincarnation and the pains and suffering of being a human no more. You could be an eternal lucid dreaming soul in this beautiful spiritual world where it's a whole nother grander experience than this. But then, or you can stay here, wallow in the material world, exhaust all of these material desires, and then be destroyed in the end. The other world, you get to stay in that world and keep all your memories and all your knowledge and continue to be. But everybody else that stayed in the material world gets destroyed and they whole profile get reset.
what is the point, Krishna, of keeping all of that knowledge if everything else around you is going to be destroyed? That's like living in that Adam Sandler movie where she just kept waking up with amnesia. Why would I want to do that? That's more torturous than to live a new experience.
You're not going to experience the destruction, though. You're in a whole nother world. You're not even thinking about the material world.
What's the point having that experience of being in that world if you ain't got shit up there? Other than
who said it ain't shit up there? That's a whole world.
To me, what's up there? Because you're saying that I'm keeping my memories, but I don't get
it's a world.
I don't get
it's
to
a whole world
experience.
Look,
so what's the point of
like,
even sitting up there?
It's a whole world. You're not just up there just doing nothing. It's a world with planets, but these planets aren't made from matter. This is made from a complete spiritual energy. It's a whole nother type of existence, but you're doing shit there. You got a whole life there. It's other people there. It's basically a whole nother universe. They got totally different rules and laws in this year. It's a free world. It's the real world. It's a spiritual world. Once you get there, you're not even thinking about the material world no more. You doing some other shit. You in a transcendental position.
Hey, but in that place though, in that place, you get all of your memories back, right? From all of your previous lives.
Yeah, you become your whole self. You have full self-realization of what you are.
So once you
go ahead, Self.
Well, I was just gonna say, so once you get all of your memories back, all of your other versions of yourself, how many times do you think that you've done this? And does that equate to the memory of, like, once you get back into the state of what you would call probably Godhead or that original source, you would get all of those memories, right? So your individual self, even when just for instance, once you get out of this physical body and you go into that place and you get all of your memories back from all of your previous selves, that kind of takes away from your individuality right there.
I mean, you still yourself though. You still.
And what is and right here, what is that? What is self? When you say you still are yourself, what is that if you've been millions of different things? What does that make you?
It makes you basically a portion of God. So it's like, you know, when you create your profile on your Xbox, y'all niggas got Xbox. Mm-hmm. So you know you create your profile, but you play hella games on the Xbox though under that one profile. So your soul is like the profile, but then these bodies is like the different games that you played. So basically, you still that same person that was playing all the different games. You know, you still that same individual that was playing all the different games and say you remember all the games that you played. But now you free. You basically free from the system. You came into the real world now. You're not in assimilation no more.
What's the point of even playing all the games though? I still don't understand what the entire point is.
But even then though, again, when I say you get out of this body and you go to that other realm, you get all of your memories back.
Right.
Mhm.
So I'm saying memories from all of your physical lives and memories of all of your spiritual lives. That would encompass everything.
What do you mean, all your spiritual lives?
How many
Because you
times
only
do you think that you've been to this place and
to
back?
Viconta?
Yes.
Never.
So when you reincarnate, like once you leave this body, is it an instant reincarnation? Like as soon as you leave, if you still are attached to something here, where do you go before you come back here?
It's gonna sound real sad, and it's contrary to a lot of common New Age knowledge. You go to another body. You ever seen the movie The Void? That nigga floated around on the earth until he found some people that was having sex, and he went into that next body. But whatever your karma was, so okay, whatever your karma was in this earth, whatever you did, first you got to experience that karma, whether it was good or bad. If you did a bunch of good shit, you can reincarnate in the heavenly world inside the material universe. It's like Pleasure Island. You got a bunch of women and shit, mansions. You a king and shit. You can live in that world. You're a demigod. You got certain little mystic abilities, but you're still within the material world. So you got to die one day. You may have a long ass lifespan. That's your good karma. That's if you had a lot of good karma. If you did a lot of fucked up shit during your life, then you gotta experience the negative reactions of all the bad shit that you did. So you can reincarnate on a lower planet where a lot of fucked up shit is going on. Like they said in the book called the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's almost like, I guess you could say, like one of the Hindu main texts. Like men who like control women by making them swallow their semen. It's a karmic reaction for that, where you incarnate on this planet where you basically drowning in the ocean of semen. But I ain't even trying to go there.
There's a semen like specifically. I
mean, yeah, it's fucked up shit that happens. But you have to experience whatever the reactions to what all your actions. You have to experience your karma, and then once you experience your karma, you eventually come back to the earth. So earth is like a middle ground where you actually get an opportunity to go to Godhead. But we squander that opportunity because we think that the purpose of life is to enjoy the senses. But the senses is just, I mean, you can do that, but then you got to experience the reactions of your actions again. So the point that I'm trying to teach is how to transcend karma, how to get out of this cycle of birth and death and reincarnation. A lot of souls don't want to get out though, apparently, like, because we gonna go act like life is all good. Like life can be good even when you got knowledge of self. Life can be good. It's definitely better when you got knowledge of self, but you still experience negative shit. You still got to experience the reactions of your past actions from your past lives. So, you can say you want to stay here and that this is the purpose of it all. Yes, God created it. God created the nature. He created the material nature. But it's just your choice as a soul. Like, what you gonna do? You gonna let Krishna's illusion keep you trapped in illusion? Yeah, Krishna's doing it to you. I'm gonna just say it. Krishna is doing this shit to you. So yeah, I'm trying to save you from Krishna, and Krishna's trying to save you from Krishna. You dig what I'm saying?
But
He's trying to save you from his own illusion.
To another Krishna.
Nah, Krishna is doing it himself. Look, okay, I'm gonna be real. God is doing this to us, right? All this negative shit, negative karma. Yes, God's doing it to you, but God is also the same one trying to help you overcome it.
To get back to another one.
Because you're doing it to yourself. Then fuck yourself. If you saying fuck God, you saying fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Right. So, but I'm telling you, is you doing this to yourself though.
We already understand that.
So you don't want to wait. You don't want to stop. Being under your own delusion.
It's lit here.
I do what the hell I want to.
Out of boredom. No, but
we're bored.
No.
All right. So look. So you saying that now, right? You're gonna do what the hell you want to. But you and I neither of us know what's gonna happen to you after this incarnation. You may not care. You may not care.
Does God know that?
You said what?
I said, does God know that?
And no matter what, even if he destroyed us, we would go back to him. So, and it would restart again.
I get it. Yo, it's funny. I ain't gonna say that.
Go ahead and say it, bro.
Hey, it's for your mind,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's for your mind,
Yo,
bro.
I'm sorry to say this, but this mentality that y'all have, I respect it. Like, it's all good. But you know, this philosophy it's real. It's a real philosophy. I'm not validating your perspective is right. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. But this perception is the perception of the Asuras. And that's basically the demons.
That's cool.
Why do
demons exist?
Who created them?
I know where I'm at now. Okay. I know.
We in hell, baby.
I get who I'm talking to. I didn't realize. See, look, this has been. Hey, I respect the side y'all on. I'm on the other side though.
But how can you recognize what side you on?
I already know what side I'm on. Because we got we got the same knowledge, but two opposite perceptions of it. And this has all been explained. I already know what's going on now.
So your
but
I
respect the Taurus though. Y'all niggas is lit.
So your side is better than our side.
I didn't say it was better. It's just two different perceptions, two different.
So why does our
God,
side?
You're a God too though. Like the Asuras are also parts of God, and the Asuras can go to Godhead too. But it's like your mentality. Your mentality is that is that of those beings, and I'm not saying your existence is invalid. I'm just saying I'm on the other side. I'm a deva.
Krishna,
you know what I'm saying? I'm an angel.
Hey, so what does our energy come with? What's does it come with? Like consequence, like a negative consequence and shit?
Honestly, it can come with negative because at the end of the day, it depends on your actions. But the mentality is that of an Asura, is that of a demon. And I'm not saying when I say demon, I don't mean bad. But a demon is a certain mentality. It's a certain way of looking at things, and that's y'all perception. So look,
what comes along? What comes with that?
What comes along with it?
Yeah. Like, do we get punished for that shit?
Honestly, it depends. So look, you can go. It depends on your actions as a demon. You can.
I'm doing all the shit. I'm doing everything that's popping. God do the shit, and I'm gonna do the shit.
Do they got good demons?
Yeah, that's how deep this shit go. Yeah, you got demons who actually decide because it's not what race you are. Because a demon is almost like a race. It's a certain type of being. You know what I mean? But the nature of most demons is to enjoy the material world, and in their philosophy is y'all philosophy like. Yo, I'm God, nigga. Ain't no separation between me and Vishnu. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. This my shit, and I respect it. Like I swear to God, I respect this shit. The shit is gangster.
But what do you do? What do you do? Do you do what you want to do?
I got a very similar perception. I know I'm God. I know I'm Vishnu, but I do what I do. I'm all about doing good, like being pure and shit like that. That's just me though. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't consume caffeine. You know what I'm saying? I don't do none of that
people that do that are bad.
No, I didn't say that they was bad. I'm just saying it's just two different perceptions. Like I believe in being in devotional service to the Supreme Being.
Okay, right there. Let me touch on that. Being a devotion to the Supreme Being is just being.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah, because if the Supreme Being has
wait. The options that we have, according to what you're saying, is the options that he gave us. For what purpose?
Right.
For what purpose? That's a question.
The options that he gave you, for what purpose did he give you those options?
Let me calm down. If we are doing what we're doing, we have to do it for a purpose. So if we're carrying out a purpose, we're doing a service or a justice to God because we're doing what he created us to do.
So
you can't escape that. We cannot do nothing.
Okay.
We can't do nothing outside of God. We cannot do that. According
But
to what you're saying, we can't.
So God gave you free will, though. God gave you free will to make choices. Nah, because it's not that God is moving us like fucking puppets. It's not that we don't have no choice. Because if that's the point, then we're literally just watching a movie, and God is moving everything.
But if He created us just to serve, we are already serving by being created. So what more do we need to do?
Everything that we do.
Right.
Period. We're being human being.
That's real cute. That's cute, man. I like it, man. I like what you're saying.
You're just being. Niggas ain't knocking you. You're just being.
Right. So when you're being,
there ain't no rules.
So when your being becomes like you actually causing harm to other people.
What's harm?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. What is harm? Because I've heard, demon and harm a lot, from you. What does harm in demon ways look like? And how do we, let me just stop there. What does harm in demon ways look like?
I mean, shit, that shit could get pretty gruesome. Like, so, okay, for example, like people who like, I ain't saying y'all do this, but people who like rape women or murder people and torture people for no reason and enslave people and make them do their bidding and just take over people's will and manipulate people and just manipulate people. Like, you don't feel like that's harm, and you feel like, God intended for you to do that? Or did you make that choice?
If God gave us free will, He intended for all this shit to pop.
He gave you free. Yeah, He knew the possibilities of what we would do. Who created what we do? Us?
Yeah, you doing what you do. If you was given no. I didn't ask that. Who created the options to give us the options to do what we do? Who created those options?
I mean, obviously, God. God is the answer to everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, but that don't mean. So if He gave you the option to do it, that means
He wanted to see it done. He wanted to see the shit done. If He gave us the option, He wanted to see it done. We're human.
Okay,
beings.
so that's like me. That's like me. Giving my child.
Put roaches? Do you put roaches in your cereal?
Look, man, just because you can do some shit don't mean that that's what you were supposed to do. You was given the option,
He did it.
But then you get negative reactions for taking those actions. You go to jail.
Okay, so he wanted to see that.
Or
so
you
he wanted to see it. So he wanted to see that.
So you think God wanted you to do it?
He had to, or did
he allow you to do it? Did he allow you to do it to see what choice you would make? To see what choice you would make, and then you made the wrong decision.
Why do we need to see?
You made the wrong decision.
Why does
He punish you? You get punished, or because you got to experience everything that you cause other people to experience.
Why does God need to see that? Why does God need to see it?
Who said that He needed to see it? He gave you the choice to do it. That don't mean He wanted you to do or made you do it. You were given free will to do it.
You just now said God wanted to see if you were going to do it. You just said that.
No. You said that God wanted to see you do it. Okay, well, if I said that, it's not what I meant to say. I said God gave you the choice. God gave you the choice.
Why?
So you can make the right decision on your own without, like, it's like me.
How can we Laura asked you earlier, how come we just can't be created making the right decision?
Because there will be no point of existence. You have to learn. That's what I'm saying. This is for us.
Now what? Hold on to that. So we gotta go do this bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
No. You're given the choice. Okay, so you saying, what if God created? You saying, why didn't God create everybody to make the right decision? We would be useless. We would be like stones. We would be as useless as stones, my nigga. Like, if God
we gotta do some bad shit. So just say it. Just say we gotta do some bad shit.
No, what I'm saying is
do some bad shit.
No. What I'm saying is you was given the choice. You was given the
Why?
choice of free will
Why?
If
so
Why?
that you can learn right from wrong.
How do you do that?
Why do we need to learn right from
Learn
wrong?
right from wrong. Why?
So that you can realize that it's wrong.
For what purposes?
How can you realize that something is right?
What is the
Hey,
purpose?
look, I'm trying to
I ain't
open up
fucking
your
with y'all,
mind,
bro.
my guy.
No, I get, bro. Everything that you're saying, I've already thought about before. But it's pointless to think about it that way. It doesn't serve no purpose. Because basically, what you're saying is that everything is just everything. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that's what it is. So that
Watch
there is
this.
no right
Watch
or
this.
wrong. There
Watch
is no
this.
good and evil.
Watch
This is
this.
just
Watch this. Confirmation. You
You
just
said
know
what?
confirmation, right?
Right.
Creation, God, observation, the spirit, participation, us. All of these three things are a part of the fucking what people call the Trinity, right? So in this, so the reason that we're doing this is to find out who God is. God didn't just say, nigga, I'm just bored, so I'm gonna just do this shit. Even if you do say that he did that, when he finds out, okay, I'm bored, and then but he's bored, but then he has rules. So it's just like, okay, I am bored, but let me still try to figure this shit out. Let me still see what they want to do, what they're going to do if I put them in this specific situation. So he's still getting some
Right.
type of information by way of participation is going to confirm,
But
regardless of
God
how you try
already
to slice
know.
it.
God already know what the results of negative actions is. That don't have to be done over and over and over again for
So
you to realize wrong is wrong.
okay.
With that
All
being
right. So
said,
with that,
then why do we
Even if the
need-
first creation, even if during the first creation, that's what God had to do.
So
'Cause he
even
was
with
in-
that being
right?
said, why would we
But
even
at this
still have
point,
to
if
learn
it's
right
been
from
done
wrong?
millions of times, if this has been done millions of times by now, you think God got to keep doing wrong to realize wrong is wrong?
okay,
Obviously,
but it's
he
still
realized
here.
that there
It's
is a
still
right way,
here.
huh?
Wrong is still here. Wrong is still here.
Bruh,
And why would we
wrong is
still
a
have to
result of
learn from it?
ignorance. The only way you can do wrong is when you don't know what it is.
So God is going to wipe our ignorance away. Then is what you're saying. Ultimately.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, you
So
got to
we
go through
chilling
the same.
then. Okay. So what's the problem?
You got to do it yourself, though. Like God ain't
But
going
we
to
didn't
come and
create
wipe
this.
your
We
ignorance
didn't
away.
create this though. We don't got to do shit. We did not create this.
Hey, man, like I said, this is the mentality of the Historians. You can have that shit. I get what you're saying. Do you know, I call this shit, never mind. Fuck it. It's cool, bro. I just feel like we got two different perspectives. We can just agree to disagree. But I truly get everything you're saying, but I find flaws in it. I find flaws in it. Y'all might not see y'all all on the same side. I respect it, but it is what it is.
If you understand balance, then you're going to understand everything that I'm talking about.
Bro, I understand balance. I'm not saying it's not a purpose for it all. I'm just saying that the reason isn't for us to just continue to do ignorance, and that's just the purpose of existence. You know, that shit is to teach you a lesson as a soul. That shit is to teach you a lesson so you can learn to do right and
Who created us as being a soul?
God. You keep asking me.
So how is he going to teach us a lesson if he created us? That makes no sense.
You
if
can't teach your kids a lesson.
Listen, but
Yo,
no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Because you're ultimately saying that God created something outside of himself to teach himself a lesson. If we come from God, we are still God, right? So in that instance, he's not teaching us a lesson because we didn't incarnate ourselves. If we were not privy, or if we didn't come from where he came from, then it would be a different situation. I'd be like, hell yeah, nigga, put me on something I don't know. But I came from this shit. I am this shit. You understand?
You
what
are
I'm
this
saying?
shit, but you don't even have full knowledge of who you are.
That's because he didn't give it to us. Obviously, that's what you're trying to say. So why would he set it up like that?
So, oh my God,
that's ill.
Yo, look. So why aren't kids born geniuses? Why when kids born, they not born just with all knowledge and understanding so that they could just,
you gotta ask your God that. You gotta ask your God that.
Bro, so you think kids should be born just all knowing? Just pop out the womb, I know everything. What would
you gotta
be the
ask
point
your God that. Exactly.
Bro,
So you're saying that we equally have to go through some bad shit. we have to go through a level of ignorance. So anything
Right,
anything that's
reason?
associated with ignorance, meaning
But for what
mistakes,
reason?
meaning doing
So
all type of other shit.
So you can learn what good is. You got to go through that.
When you say you, again, Selfmade asked you earlier, who is you? Because you would have to say God, because we are a product of God.
All right,
we're not our own entity, according to what you're saying.
All right, so with that logic, what you're saying is, if I have children, they shouldn't listen to shit I'm saying because they already me. They shouldn't take no guidance. No, wait, don't cut me off. Don't cut me off.
I'm gonna give it to you because I got a kid. You don't. Naturally, you can give motherfuckers any type of game, but people are going to what they're going to do naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I'm saying, but with your logic, though, with your logic, if I'm enlightened, I should just have a kid and not tell them shit and just let them make all their own decisions. And whatever they do.
What was your purpose? What is your purpose of creating a kid? According to you, God made us because he was bored.
No, okay. So
I'm gonna give you everything that you gave us. That's the only thing what I'm trying to do is to let you hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Right? So when you say what you say, I'm just saying that when you said that God created us because he was bored, I wish you would retract that statement, because everything you say after that.
I'm not saying that was the only reason though. Like it's definitely deeper than that. It's deeper than that.
So please take the time to elaborate on that.
Okay. What I've been trying to say this whole time. Because that's one aspect of it. It is a play. It is, something that God enjoys to do, but he has an intention for his creation. And it's more than to me, that his intention is for those individual souls who were given free will, who were given their own identity. Even though we're still him, we was given our own identity and our own illusion of being separate for a reason.
What's that?
The ultimate goal, the ultimate intent is for him to see us reach ultimate maturity as souls.
Experience is what I'm hearing. Maturity equals experience.
Right. Exactly. So yes, you gotta go through. But you go through maturity by being basically manipulated by the material energy. Basically your animal nature. Your maturity is when you are able to control the animal instead of letting the animal control you. Then when you master control over the animal and realize that you're not this animal, you don't have to follow your desires and just indulge in physical enjoyment, that you are a soul, that you're a spirit, you're transcendental to this. That is the purpose, and that's what God intends for the souls to. That's the ultimate understanding God intends for the souls to reach. But simultaneously, when we reach that state, we don't just merge back into his existence and just become fully God again. We get to maintain being individuals with that understanding of being transcendental and having mastery over our material nature.
Can I ask you something even with that, though?
I don't understand how that gets so confusing, huh?
Can I ask you something with that? Because you said we have to experience the low vibrational shit here, the dense shit here, right? Why would we want to go somewhere else where we're harboring onto that too, to maintain our individuality? Why would we want to take that with us, according to your God?
Why wouldn't you want to take what?
Our knowledge and our experience and our past, you know what I mean, memories.
I didn't say you don't take that with you.
Why would we want to take it with us? You did just say we take it with us because we maintain our
I said we do take it with us.
Why would we want to do that? It sounds just like reincarnation to me.
It is reincarnation.
Right. So why would we want to take those memories with us? Why would we want to take the hurtful shit? What kind of God would want us to take the hurtful shit to a higher plane with us?
You realize it's not hurtful once you make it to that place. It's not like you.
So it just loses its hurt.
Right. No, because look, like all the shit you've been through with the wisdom and knowledge you have, it ain't like you just harboring on the pain no more. You learned the lesson from what you went through, and it's caused you to grow.
But if
You
we're
know what I'm
taking
saying?
our
So it's not
memories
like your
with us,
memories aren't.
Krishna, we don't get to pick and choose which memories we take with us because memories are experiences also, right? Why would we want to take the bad memories? Why would God allow us to take the bad memories? Essentially, if I have to take the bad memories, leave
You
me
won't
where
even be
I'm
thinking
at,
about your
because
bad
I still
memories
have
once
the
you
bad
reach that
memories.
state.
Why not? So what's the point of taking anything with us then? Why do we need individuality if we don't need it?
Look, you do. Yeah, it's
That's
like I
the
keep not
bar.
hearing what I'm saying, right? Your
I'm
individuality
listening.
is
I'm
the
just trying to
purpose.
walk
Us
with you.
having us having individuality was the whole purpose. Like that was one of the main purposes
Our
of
souls,
creation.
our souls, our souls, individuals. I'm sorry, our souls, individuals when they're first created.
Yes. What you
So,
mean?
because you just now said in the beginning, it's for the soul to have an individual experience or understanding, right?
Right, right. And through your journey, which is definitely a part of it, you going through good and bad. For the point of it all is for you at some point in one of your incarnations to realize and stop making these same decisions and become a mature soul and transcend your material and your
So,
animal nature and be equipoise in your as a soul, like to become enlightened,
what's your definition of what a
but
soul is?
still be an individual, huh?
What's a soul? The first creation of a soul. Give some definition to that.
A soul is basically it's a consciousness and it's an energy body. It's like how I look at it is like I call it spirit soul because you a spirit and a soul. Your soul is like your energy body. It's like your astral body. But then your spirit is that spark of God. That's your consciousness. That's what you truly are ultimately. But the
All right.
soul is like your individual, portion of God, like your own entity.
So you already are an individual at that point.
Yeah, I'm an individual right now.
I'm saying in the beginning when souls was first created, they're already an individual soul, right?
Well, we wasn't created as souls and then get put into material bodies.
That's
You
what I'm
know,
saying. So
we
when
was
we first got created, what were we? When we first got created outside of God, what are we at that point?
when we first were created. So we were I get where you're going like that. So we were God. We were one with God. We was okay. Let me
I'm
walk you through it. I'll make it quick though, but
okay.
so it's like you got the supreme individual, so the first person, the supreme person, the eternal person, I basically call it, the personality of the I am. It is the personal form of I am,
So and
right?
what form is that though?
The first being.
What form?
Which you,
Is it
that's
a
Krishna.
soul? Is
That's
it a
Krishna.
spirit?
That's
What it,
Vishnu.
no,
That's
I'm saying
that's
what
Vishnu.
oh
Is it
so you say
physical?
you talk what like so what are you saying? You saying like the most high right now?
Yeah, the Most High. We talk about the Most High's
Okay, so
personal form.
after I'm saying the first creation because I already understand
Right.
that, but I was
So
gonna ask
yeah.
you a side question to
So
that.
it's not
But
like he just creates. Yeah, I'm getting there. Like it's not like he just creates us and then it's a bunch of souls and then he put us in bodies.
that's what I'm
No.
saying. So what's the first form that's created outside of what Vishnu is? What's the first form?
So when Vishnu is in his meditation, what I'm saying, in the cosmic energy, they call it the cosmic ocean. Um, through his meditation, lotus flower sprouts out of his navel. And this lotus flower is basically the sum. This is the sum total. I mean, yeah, it's material energy, right?
So the first
So
form is material energy.
yeah, the form, because it's form. The first
This is before
being,
this is before a
a
soul.
spiritual
This is
form.
before a soul.
So this isn't. I'm just trying to be clear.
I'm saying so because I asked what form. So the first
Because you got the supreme soul. The
the
first
first
soul is Vishnu. The
I
first soul,
said
that's the
outside.
supreme
I
soul.
said outside of that, the first creation. What form is it in? And right now, you just now said material. So are we sticking with that?
No. Okay, I want to be clear with that. So look, you got Vishnu in his spiritual form. That's the concentrated I
We
am,
got that.
right? But then this is the creation process that I'm describing. So at that point, we're like in a sleeping state as souls, right? We
So
inside
we are
of Vishnu.
souls first.
More so, we're inside. We're just like
Thoughts.
inside of Vishnu, like almost like sperm inside of a body. Inside,
So all right. So stop right there. I don't need to ask. I don't need to go further. So we're already inside of Vishnu as a soul. Right. So we're
Before
already
creation.
we're already. So do we know the same? If we're inside of Vishnu, literally, do we know everything that Vishnu knows? And if not, why not?
I mean, if you're inside of Vishnu, you are Vishnu at that point. You're not. He didn't separate himself. He didn't create anything. It's just one being. It's one soul at that point. But then it becomes multiple souls after the creation process.
So the first creation outside of that is material, right?
The first creation outside of Vishnu is he gives birth to this being.
I just want to know the form of the being. That's it.
It's kind of hard to. I wish next time we do this, bro, I'm gonna definitely come with the actual shit. Like I would rather read it because I can't speak it as well as
that's absolutely fine.
I mean?
At this point in time right now, I'm just trying to, because you keep saying that we need to have this individual soul experience. So we're already souls in the beginning, what experience do we need to have if the souls already know, because they are Vishnu, so they already know. So what experience needs to take place?
You're not
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, because you don't have an individual soul at that point. You are Vishnu. It's just one soul.
Exactly. That's my point.
Right.
So there.
Okay.
So, but you said that there's individual souls that's inside of Vishnu. So you separated it right there.
More so. Okay. So more so, it's just one soul. Like, cause we don't really. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm good, man.
All right. Well, it is what it is.
I mean, hey, he said, but you know what I'm saying? He said, hey, it's one soul. That's all I needed to hear.
That's all I needed to hear.
That's it.
So we should have just said that from the beginning. It was no point of the whole shit.
I liked it. I enjoyed the dialogue.
I mean, I never said that it wasn't one soul. I mean, us being individual souls is an illusion, but it's an illusion for it. It was created. My whole thing is it's for a reason, bro. Maybe we just think it's different reasons. Y'all saying the reason is just whatever, you know, to enjoy.
What do you think that we think the reason is?
To experience and gain that confirmation.
So ultimately, okay, that's a part of it, to experience, but to come to a certain level of understanding is what I'm saying. That's the ultimate goal.
And the way you do that, the way that you come to that understanding is through experience. Period. There's no.
I never said that wasn't. I don't know why y'all be thinking that I'm not saying that though. Like,
who needs to come to an understanding? Who?
The individual soul.
If we're soul, you just now said we're individual souls inside of Vishnu, so we are that. So ultimately, like what I said earlier, that means that Vishnu does not know who Vishnu is.
It's all confirmation through experience.
Thank you. I don't know how you're not getting that. Like, it's like what you're saying. We're just trying to let you know what you're saying because you're still trying to separate.
Because Vishnu knows that he's Vishnu, though. Vishnu knows he's God, and he knows his creations as well.
So there's individual souls inside of Vishnu, yes or no?
Is there individual souls inside of Vishnu? It's kind of. That's kind of weird to say.
Can he create opposites of what he is?
Can he create opposites of what he is?
Or something that he's not? Yeah.
That's a weird question. How can God
because you're saying we're not him, right?
I never said, bro. No.
Can I ask you a question though?
This is an infinite circle. I never said that we wasn't God. Like
right now we're God. So right now we're God.
Right.
So now why are we here if God already exists?
I said this like a million times. I keep saying what the purpose of the
Can I
creation
ask a
is.
question? Can I ask a question? In who is
My
what
God.
is the difference between Krishna and Vishnu?
So
I'm asking like for knowledge.
Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu. So there's really no separate. There's no difference between Krishna and Vishnu.
Okay, like can I ask another question?
Mhm.
In the previous podcast that I initially watched, you kept referring to Krishna as the soul of souls. Why would
Right.
he need to have that title if he's one and there's no separation?
What you say? I'm confused. I don't
In your
understand the question.
previous podcast, you kept referring to Krishna as the soul of souls, right? And ultimately our plan is, or our objective should be to get back to Krishna, right?
See that, and that's where I keep saying you
It's
got
yes or no though.
but it's not because
It
it
has to
depends
be.
on what you mean by get back to Krishna. Because
Okay,
some
let's take
people
the
can,
get back out. Let's take get back out first for now. The
because when you
ultimate
say get back to Krishna, are you
I
saying
didn't say
be
get back to
merged?
Krishna. You said get back to Krishna. I don't need to get back to Krishna. I am Krishna.
No, you just asked me a question. Bruh, I'm Krishna too.
No,
We are all Krishna. I'm not
right.
saying that we're not Krishna. I'm just saying it's an intent for our existence is more than just experiencing the material world,
I
is
know.
to realize that the material world is an illusion. Y'all basically asking me what's the point of that?
I'm no,
I don't,
I'm trying to walk with you. I'm at this point I'm trying to walk with you and hold your hand, right? In the previous podcast, you kept saying Krishna is the soul of souls. True or not?
uh-huh.
Why would there be a soul of souls if Krishna is God, if God is one? Why does there need to be a collection of souls? I'm asking for
So you
understanding.
basically asking, it's like y'all asking me the craziest question. So you asking why did God create this?
Are
Y'all
they
keep
crazy?
asking me.
Are they crazy to you because you don't understand
No, I
the
perfectly
science behind
understand.
it?
No, I purposely understand, but y'all keep asking me what was God's reason for becoming individual, for creating individual souls, or for creating the material world.
Why
And
would
I keep
Krishna have
giving
to be
y'all
a
an
collection of
answer,
all souls?
huh?
Why would Krishna specifically have to be a collection of all souls or the collector of all souls?
You
Was
said, why would he have to be?
why is he the soul of all souls? What makes him the soul? Why would he
Because
need
he's
that?
the original person,
But
the first,
why would he need to be the soul of all souls? And you
because he's
because
the source that all other souls came from.
okay, I'll give you that. So why do we have to get back to him if we came from him?
Bruh, sis, I'm sorry. Why would we have to get back to him if we came to him?
If
If
he's the source, why do we have to get
please
back?
hear me. Please hear. I'm gonna try my best to answer this one more time. When I say, because I keep saying get back to Krishna, I'm not saying it's the goal is to just merge back into Krishna and
Is it
become
like a Krishna
Krishna again.
like state?
Wait,
Like,
can I answer the question, please?
absolutely. I apologize for that.
All I'm simply saying is the purpose of the creation is, the intent for us as souls. Because why he created it, that's one thing. But the intent for us to reach, the state for us to reach that Krishna intends for us individual souls is like his children. It's like if you had kids, and you knew everything, or you were enlightened, of course you would want them to go through their own journey and kind of find it themselves. But ultimately you will hope one day they will realize who they are. They will realize the truth. So basically what I'm saying is the purpose is for us as individual souls, even though we already are that, we don't know that. Everybody don't know that. So
What
It's for
happened?
us to grow through the journey, go through the journey of life, all these incarnations, and then at some point realize that you don't have to be, that you can transcend your animal nature, that you can become free from your animal nature.
Do you think that we can do that within ourselves and we don't need to look to a supreme being like a Krishna or a Vishnu?
Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Do you think that we can transcend within self without looking up for a Krishna or a Vishnu?
So what you can do is you can reach a certain level of understanding, and you can realize the impersonal aspect of God, which is the state that y'all all came to. You know, that you are God and God is everywhere and all of that shit.
But do you agree with that though?
Do I agree what?
That we are God and God is everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
What's the point of going higher than that?
So okay. So like I said before.
Woon, stop. Please.
So
stop.
so basically I'm saying that what we're experiencing right now is the pinnacle and purpose of life. That there's no point or reason to go beyond this. That's what y'all saying.
Do you know who you are?
You are already beyond this.
Okay. So are you experiencing, and I'm gonna reverse it back to you. So you already are beyond this as well. So you have full memory and understanding of everything that's ever happened in existence. You because y'all saying y'all God, and we are, and we can say we know who we are, but so you got full, complete, total access to your entire God being right now.
Krishna, honey, this is where you put the separation in when you say but. That's where you start to put the separation in. You believe
because it's like, wait, y'all didn't even answer my question though. Y'all didn't answer my question. So y'all saying,
go ahead, go ahead, ask the question.
What we doing right now, this material existence, this is the purpose and nothing more than this. Just continue to reincarnate and just live in the material. You saying this is the purpose. This is what we're here to do. This is what God intended us to do.
I'm here to do
there's no reason to go beyond this or to transcend or ascend.
No, I'm doing
what to do this.
My purpose is to do exactly what I am doing right now.
Facts.
Okay.
And until I evolve, whenever that may be for me, is when I'll do that. Maybe I won't, but at the end of the day, it don't really matter because I'm still going back to the same place, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, and that's perfectly fine. But what is wrong? What is it wrong with me wanting to evolve now? Maybe it's my incarnation to do that.
Right. Exactly.
So what are we talking about? I don't understand why y'all keep trying to like derail what I want.
Because
all
we're saying is essentially it's the same thing.
Because you even said it yourself. You said maybe at some point you will evolve and decide to go beyond this.
That's why I'm saying it's the same thing, because you want to evolve, right? And who knows? You're going to evolve, and then who says that you're not going to come back? You already said that you had certain desires here, so it wouldn't matter. That's why I'm saying.
No. So until you have fully,
but you already
transcended your material desires, you won't get out of here. You won't get out of here.
The thing about it is,
what's the highest high?
Exactly.
What you say?
What's the highest high?
God,
what's the highest high?
In terms of being, in terms of place, in terms of all this shit, what's the highest high?
You tell me.
Thank you. The highest high is everything.
Okay. Okay.
God is everything.
Right.
So everything that we're doing, even though you say you're trying to transcend to another spot,
though. I'm not saying that.
Okay, but watch this. But watch this. Even though you're trying to transcend to a higher spot, you still know that you have to come down to the lower spot. That's how it works.
But I've been here this whole time.
That's what he created.
That's the purpose of creation.
That's why you were here.
Y'all don't understand that once niggas get out of this shit, they don't come back.
How do you know?
You don't come back to this shit.
You
don't
came
know that.
Why did God have people come here? You said let me and I want you to hold this. I want you to hold this. I want you to hold. Hold on, wait. I want you to hold this. You said that God already knows because we've did this a million trillion times, right? So why is this cycle of things still happening?
Y'all stress me out. Nah, I just play.
You see, hey, you got two circles in your eyes right now.
Right.
Apply it.
So I get where this shit keep going left. Because y'all basically saying, what's the point of ascending if that's where we came from? Right? That's what you're saying.
And are going to come back too.
What is the point of going to the spiritual world if you came from the spiritual world?
We're coming back. We're just chilling right now.
Answer the question. Wait, that's what you're saying, right? What is the point of ascending if you already came from an ascended state?
As God. Yeah, we're asking that as
right.
Because God don't know God.
What is the point? You saying so? No. The reason when I say damn, yeah, I didn't say this shit so many times it's crazy. The place that I'm talking about, we haven't been there. That is a place.
We came from Vishnu. We were souls inside of Vishnu. Bro. We were souls inside of Vishnu.
How can we not
that experience? But when you're a soul inside of Vishnu, when you were a soul inside of Vishnu, that wasn't an experience. That's like basically being asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like
so Vishnu hasn't experienced all things.
What you say?
So Vishnu hasn't experienced all things. If we were inside of Vishnu or one with Vishnu, then he hasn't experienced all things. If we haven't experienced all things,
that's a fact.
How do you want to chop it?
You said Vishnu was asleep, right?
God.
No. I said when you was inside of Vishnu.
But you said we are Vishnu.
Right.
So that means Vishnu was asleep.
No, okay,
bro. Like for real. We're literally walking with you, and you're saying these things, and you try to say like we twisting it, but it's like we're literally saying what you're saying.
I know, that's what I keep saying. We saying the same things in different ways.
It's an easy step. Like it's an easy step.
What y'all not acknowledging is that I keep saying the purpose isn't to become Vishnu again. Obviously, we were already Vishnu. I'm not saying going to Godhead is becoming Vishnu again. I'm saying you get to go to a place where you can still be you, but have the experience of being an enlightened soul.
So we're better than Vishnu when that happens, because we don't want to go back to Vishnu. That's whack. You just said it. We don't want to go back to Vishnu. That's some whack ass shit. We finna other shit.
But when you go to that place, you're amongst Vishnu. You get to be in Vishnu's presence as being separate from him.
Fuck that nigga. That's what I'm saying. We don't fuck with that nigga like that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's like, what's the point of you becoming what you already were? You become more. You get to be. Oh my god.
But become more. He just said it. For the record, he just said what I said. You get to become more. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because you stopped yourself. Hey, but on some real shit, if you're saying that our ultimate goal is to not get back to God, then our ultimate goal is better than what God would be. No, ultimately.
but that's separating yourself from God. So how I look at it is basically
according to what you're saying.
No. Because you get to be amongst, and it sounds like I'm saying that we're separate. It's an illusion of being separate, but that illusion of being separate is better than us merging back and being one, because then we're alone as one being. So the reason is to create us as it's a purpose for us to be individuals. Vishnu wants to do this for himself. Like,
So we don't matter.
It's a big paradox. It's a paradox. No, but you are him.
All right, so let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this: if all the souls that go up to this second realm and they stay there, who's creating the new ones?
That's a good question.
And where are they coming from? Where are all the new souls coming to keep populating this place? If everybody's so the new souls is coming from Vishnu.
Yes.
They come here, then they elevate back higher into a higher plane of understanding.
Right. It's like if Vishnu was here, and then we come, so the earth is here, or the universe is here. A portion of them goes down here. We grow in this aspect, and then we get to go here, which is like a heavenly abode. So you don't want to go back here because that's where you came from. So it's like a loop. You come down, you as an individual soul. So it's like sperm cells coming into an egg cell. We become a bunch of our own entities. We learn and master this realm, and then when you beat the game, you can go to this place. But
so then, when you go to this place, what is powering this place?
It's all connected.
No, I get that. No, I get that.
Right.
I'm saying what, because you're saying this one is providing the energy for this one, right? Like this one is producing the energy for this one. Where is the energy where is this one getting its energy from?
It's the source. God, what?
So then this one's gonna continue to fill up. So this shit is just gonna ever expand. It's ever expanding, right?
Yeah.
So we're at the end of the day, we're still talking about God ever expanding from the source, but you never go back to the source. So there's nothing connecting a loop. It's not a 360 now. It's just a straight line.
A 180.
There's no purpose for you to, it's no purpose for you to merge back with the source because you already are that. You never really separated. You just under the illusion of separation. But that illusion of separation is for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But you want to basically be able to be an individual, but simultaneously have the understanding of Vishnu. But if you merge back into Vishnu, then you don't get to be an individual anymore because you became Vishnu again. So it's like the purpose is to create souls who can be themselves, but be one with God at the same time. Does that make any sense?
To me, not really. I mean, that's why I was kind of asking if you can find that within self. Are you able to find that within self?
I'm saying, yeah, you can find that within self, but do you want to be inside the material world while you experience that?
If that's what I'm supposed to do, then absolutely. If that's what I created,
and that's why I keep saying it's your choice. What
I'm going to do. You call me a demon?
All right. Just to wrap it all up, because this is exhausting. Yes, we are all God. God created the material world and he created the spiritual world. You never separated. It's just an illusion of separation. The beings in the material world, yes, that's what they're supposed to be doing if that's what they desire to do. Then you got beings who desire to go to the other world where you're beyond the material world. All of them are God. All of them are connected to God. You can merge back with God. You can go to the spiritual world or you can stay in the material world. It's all your choice at the end of the day. Yes, that's the point. That's all I'm saying.
Can I ask you how long you have studied this for?
You talking about like Hinduism?
Your ideology, just in general. I mean, how long have you? Because what else did you study?
Hey, but before that though, I'm gonna have to skate. I'm gonna have to skate. But I just wanted to say, you feel me? Good build for sure. I feel like we've talked about this before, but
yeah, I don't want to talk about this shit no more.
The understanding at the end of the day, like, you know, we definitely have different, you know, perceptions on how the thing is, I guess, rotating. You know what I'm saying? But
right,
you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I feel like you know, once we recognize that's all coming from the source, then I don't really have nothing else to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm gonna have to slide though. Peace to
All
y'all.
right, bro.
I usually don't have to slide like this, but hey, this is an unusual show too. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
Right.
day.
right. Peace and love, y'all.
Thank
All
you.
right, peace.
So how long have you studied this?
It's been a minute now. I could say I fully got into like the Krishna aspect of shit like that was like 3 years ago. But I've been studying spirituality since I was like 15. I'm 30 now, so that's like 15 years.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna
yeah, I went through all schools of thought. I've dabbled in all of this shit, bro. It's just like I that's why I understand your perception. To me, I came to understand a different level of it. I'm not against the I am perception, but you know,
Have you
people gonna look
studied
at how they look at
anything
it.
after you started studying the Hinduism? Have you looked at anything else after and then brought you
Yeah,
back to that?
yeah. So I listen to both. Like I'm both. Like I'm a personalist and I'm a personalist. I agree with everything y'all saying, but at the same time, I believe in the personal form of God. So yeah, I study other shit. I still study Buddhism, but really to me, Hinduism and Buddhism is like the peak understanding.
I noticed you said when you came out that you were Buddha too, and I'm like, how are you Buddha and Krishna? Don't they? I mean, don't they conflict with one another?
Nah, Buddha is Krishna. Buddha was also an incarnation of Vishnu.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed myself, and I thank you for coming on and going over and rescinding and retracting, some of the things that you said in
Yeah.
the past. So it's all
Yeah.
love.
Nah, it's love. You know what I'm saying? This probably gonna be the last time that I have a debate about this shit. I feel like it's just gonna forever go in circles. This is an eternal debate. Like people have been debating this for a long time. You know, it's basically personal God versus impersonal God. Like, is God a person or is God energy? And,
God is everything and nothing.
God is everything. Exactly. I believe in both, but yeah. I feel like my message is just for those who would resonate with.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. And just to touch on that real quick, because you said that your message is for you to resonate with, and we wouldn't, we're just having an open dialogue, and I have to bring up, your disdain with Nature Boy, if you don't mind touching that real quick.
Okay.
I just want to personally know, and because me personally, right, just like how we're having this build right now, and Laura had a specific, misunderstanding, or was trying to understand where you was at when it comes down to the different energies. So naturally, she reached out, was like, yeah, I want to, chop it up with him. And I was like, okay, yeah, if we set it up, he'll definitely chop it up with you and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So just in my level of being, like, I just like try to connect people and get an understanding whenever possible, right? So
Right.
I've personally talked to Nature Boy, like personally, like personal calls, built chop it up with him for hours. I had him I introduced him to the group chat, and I also had him here on the podcast. So
Right.
So naturally, I would say, like, if you had any type of discrepancy with him and how he teaches, because you just now said, for your following, like, whoever's dealing with you and however y'all rock is how y'all rock. So, equally, you wouldn't want nobody to take that away from you. So my thing is like, what is your thing with him?
Um, so my thing with him is that I believe when you get a certain level of knowledge, it's your responsibility to do the right thing with it. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you use that power to abuse people and to manipulate people and make other people feel less than, I personally feel like that ain't the right thing to do with the knowledge. You know, it's all good to realize you God and teach that God consciousness. But ultimately, if you're not trying to get the people around you to tap into their own power as that, and be the best version of themselves, and you want to keep them beneath you, that's ego shit to me. That's the lower self. It ain't nothing righteous about that.
So you think that by force, or he's forcing people to be in the position that they're at when they're around him?
Now, I don't think that he's forcing them. I think he's manipulating impressionable minds, like weak-minded people. And honestly, it's their fault. Like they supposed to be strong enough to realize it. And honestly, sometimes I think maybe that's what he ultimately trying to teach them. Maybe he wants them to revolt. Maybe he wants them to like, yo, stop letting me manipulate you. I be thinking that like if he really a master like he say he is, then that's his ultimate teaching is that he want his students to fucking stand up to him. And that maybe that's why he bullied them so much. You know, and that would be a great lesson. That would be a dope ass thing. I was like, oh shit, well damn, I get it now. He was bullying them so that they can realize that don't be bullied. You know what I'm saying?
What do you
But
think?
I personally don't think that's the teaching. I think he's feeding off of their energy. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's their choice. You're right. You know what I'm saying? He ain't
That's what
forcing
I'm
them
saying.
niggas to do that shit.
So you said, because I know that you said that you ultimately want to stop him or destroy him. So
Yeah.
And my thing is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with how you feel in that aspect. But and this is my thing, just like how we're having this debate right now, and you said you don't want to debate him. So my thing would be, well, what steps are you going to take to let him know that he's doing something wrong? Or do you think that he hasn't came across that energy before?
I gotta lead by example. With Nature Boy, he's so in his own mind that it's nothing that I could say to him in a debate that would change his mind.
Right.
So only thing that I could do is lead by example and become that which I see a God should be. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
If you're gonna be a real God, because that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like if you're gonna be a God and you're gonna claim you God, to me, God's supposed to represent good. You know, if you're a master of self, and I get it, good and bad. We all got positive and negative energy, but y'all know my stance on this. I feel like a real master of self, a real self-realized being is only gonna do pure good. Because if you know everybody is you and everything is you, how can you harm yourself? You know what I'm saying? How can you manipulate yourself and do evil shit to yourself? So I just gotta lead by example. I'm gonna just do my own thing, and eventually, I think he'll change, or I'll be able to maybe influence him to do better once he sees somebody else with that same, power, but using it the right way. That's all I could. That's all I can do. I mean, maybe he will, maybe he won't. I mean, it ain't my ultimate goal to destroy Nature Boy, but I just
So,
don't think that type of corruption. I don't like seeing that type of corruption existing. You know what I mean? In the society.
do you feel that same way about like other teachers and shit too? Or just him?
As far as the ones that I know of, I only can speak on the ones that I really know of. I don't know how many other teachers is kind of doing it the way that he's doing it. And my biggest thing is like I see through. I know where his knowledge is flawed. But it's not just a flaw in his knowledge; it's how he treats people. You know what I mean? That shit don't be cool. Like
So
some shit is unnecessary. Like I don't know if you be seeing them.
but that's according to what your understanding is, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, what you saying? So you think? I mean, yeah. According to my understanding, people shouldn't be like fucking destroying people's self-esteem and belief in themselves and just making them subservient. Like I thought that was just how I don't know. I get from your perception, good and evil don't exist. It's all God. So
I'm saying like take out, step outside of that fixed perception, and let's just go to, again, is he forcing anybody to do anything?
no, right? He's not. But if you got all these souls out here trying to wake up trying to find themselves, trying to find knowledge of self, and then they come across somebody who got that knowledge or can help them in that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these young people, they gonna gravitate towards it. Like, oh shit, he's saying everything that I've been trying to learn. And
Right.
yeah, he ain't forcing them, but you know, you present yourself as being somebody that they should follow and that they should trust, and but then you're actually taking that they putting their trust in his hands as a guru, and he just fucking them in the ass. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that there's not people who left on their own accord?
Nah, there definitely was, and I think them people they woke up.
So they have to go through the experience ultimately, right?
Did they have to? I mean, I guess if they did,
yeah.
I guess if they did, but they could have came to the same knowledge of self without going through that experience. But they made that choice, so they had to live with the choice that they made.
Right.
And yeah.
So would you want to deny somebody of going through what they feel is best for them at the time?
Nah, I don't believe in interfering with people's karma. And maybe that's how I came off when I said that I'm here to, like, you know, give people knowledge and give them the original knowledge. But if you're gonna go through what you're gonna go through, you just gonna go through that. But I don't feel like it's nothing wrong with me presenting you another way. You know, I could show you the door, but you gotta walk through it.
Right. Because it seems like
I'm not trying to force people to believe in Krishna or force people. I'm not trying to force nobody. I'm just telling y'all what I think, what I know, what I come to know.
And
I ain't trying to force y'all to.
He's ultimately doing the same thing, though.
What you mean?
In terms
he's
of
trying to. Yeah, but okay, it's one thing to try to.
I haven't had one person. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's one thing to try to teach people your knowledge. Like what I'm just trying to, you know, present a way, and he's doing the same thing, but then he's siphoning off of niggas' energy and beating on women and doing all this extra shit at the same time, though. Like that ain't a part of the teachings. You know what I'm saying?
When you say siphoning off of energy, it's an even exchange of energy, is it not?
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, he's giving them knowledge. So I guess you could say, but he's taking, man. I guess if you could call that an even, I don't think that's even. If I had students,
you're not in that position though, so you can't call it even or uneven.
It ain't nothing wrong with like having your students serve you. Like that's an equal exchange. If I give you knowledge, you know, if I need you to do something or to serve me, salute. Yeah, and it's nothing wrong with your students serving you and shit like that. But when you taking it to the extreme, and it's not only the service, it's not that they're serving him, it's that the shit that he says to them. You know what I'm saying? That's not no even exchange. What that got to do with an even exchange in the energy? I give you knowledge, and then I fucking crush you and destroy you with my words. That's the exchange.
So you've never seen him say positive words to any of them?
So I mean, yeah, I have, but of course you can't. If all you do all day, every day is say negative shit to the motherfucker, eventually they gonna leave. So you gotta sweeten the deal in some way, but that's his manipulation.
So you saying that's his? You saying the only reason
that's
that he builds them up is just so they won't leave?
Yeah, so they won't leave to keep them around. Exactly.
But people left though. But people have left. Because
they like, okay, because that ain't enough to keep you around. But okay, it's like me got a wife, and one day I'm just like, yo, I fucking hate you. You a stupid bitch. I can't. You dumb as fuck. Get the fuck away from me. I hate you. And then the next day I'm like, yo, you so beautiful. I love you. Like, eventually I'm like, okay, bro, I'm done with you. I can't deal with that shit.
Do you know that there's people that have a fetish of that? They want to be talked down to like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you saying that's what you think they enjoy that shit?
It serves them. It serves. I'm just giving you an example of how that can serve people by talking shit to them. and they pay for it, literally money.
Dominatrix.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that,
But do you think
I
that that's a fetish of theirs, or do you think that the
it
reason
don't.
they're staying is because
What I'm thinking don't matter. What they're getting from it, it matters. That's my point. And listen to what I'm going to say to you, because and I don't, there's a lot of people that's in the chat that may think that, that we're having this building that we don't understand each other, don't have you at our best interest, right? And that's not true. So ultimately, again, when it comes down to certain things, I put myself in a position to make people link up. Like, you know what I mean? That's naturally what I do. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm ultimately the balance. I embody that before every show comes on. Besides this one, I let people know I'm all about balance. So from my level of understanding, I have, I look at all points of views and shit, right? So I'm not stuck in a specific way. Not saying that you are, but I just want you as a young God coming up in the game, that I want you not the same energy that you're trying to give him should be the same energy that you're using to build your shit up. You understand what I'm trying to say? So
yeah, to be honest, it's so out of my nature to even spend time talking about another dude. It's why, I really don't even be wanting to do it. I just felt like doing it in that moment. I was like, you know what? I feel like speaking on this shit. But it ain't like some major intent of mine, like, yo, I just gotta dedicate all this time and energy to destroying Nature Boy. I just wanted to present the facts, another perception. I wanted to present my perception.
And this is exactly, and this is why I want to create a space. And we don't even got to do it on the podcast, because like I said, I got his personal number, and we can facilitate a build between you guys. I don't care about nobody outside of you, him, and the discussion that you guys, I guess, that you should have with him. He don't know that you got a discrepancy with his teachings, right?
Right.
So he may, if you talk to him, because again, let me say this before I say that. When I introduced him to, because I got a group of people how we rock and shit, right? I showed him love off the bat, like, you know what I mean, just for being a teacher, like, you know what I mean, like he's out there doing his Dougie, what he does in his personal life that has nothing to do with me personally, right? So when he came on to the group chat, and this is the video chat, we was building, like, you know what I mean, but eventually we were going to run into a wall to where we're going to bump heads. And he was saying certain things that I did not agree with. But he allowed me to get my shit off. And he was like, you want to know what? Y'all niggas already where y'all at. Like, you know what I mean? And he understood what we were saying. Like, you know what I mean? So, but we gained allegiance at that time. Like, you know what I mean? So I could call that at any given time. He could call me at any given time. And we good. Like, you know what I mean? But it wasn't only just me, that there was people that have heard about him and saw all the negative clips on YouTube and all this extra shit. And I was like, okay, well, if you feel like that way about him, this nigga is accessible. You know what I mean? So you don't have to feel a certain way. Like, you know what I mean?
So, with him before, a while ago, probably like 2 years ago, I had a whole build with him on his platform. I don't completely disagree with Nature Boy on a lot of his shit, but I see the evil intentions to me behind the shit. That's from my perspective.
Did you tell him that recently?
No, I didn't tell him that.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Again,
I don't have no reason to tell him that, bro. Because,
but equally, you're telling the world that. You're telling all people that. But so why not tell him?
He gonna find out. He gonna see it. He'll find out. And if he want to talk to me about it, he'll talk to me about it.
So why don't you want to talk to him about it?
Because this is chess, not checkers.
So you saying you don't want to talk to him directly about it, but you would tell everybody else?
Not right now. It ain't the time. Not right now. This is different.
So when you so when you do this, when you do what you do,
this ain't about what's up.
So when you do what you do, whenever the chess move is being played, you're going to it could be 10,000 years from now, right? You're going to eventually stop him and reroute his whole mission.
I think it's a possibility that I can have a positive effect on that mission. Yeah, I could reroute that shit.
Okay, so again, you think that what he's doing is wrong, and you're saying that
I think some of what he's doing is wrong. Yeah.
So you're saying that your influence from your personal perception is going to be what he is going to be more powerful than what he's embodying to say that this is his purpose.
Can you say that one more time? I don't think I fully.
Your perception of him, you're saying, is going to be stronger than what he thinks his purpose is, because right now he's convinced, and then he just now said he's upgraded.
Right. I don't I don't really care to change his perception. But I want to give the people another option, because right now he's a powerful force in the spiritual circle.
Right. So that you don't think that there's other people that's out there. This nigga done got kicked out of so many different spots because niggas are rocking with this nigga. Facts.
Right.
So with that being said, you won't be the first one. And I'm not saying that your strategy won't be different, but the main person who Three God is dealing with is Three God.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody. He's competing with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm trying to say? And that's
you can't really say that. You don't know.
Listen to what I'm saying.
That man compares himself to everybody all the time.
But he also says that he's everybody all the time. Three God.
I've watched a lot of Nature Boy's video, and I listened to him with an open mind. And honestly, my opinion is my opinion. But let me just stick to my point.
Go ahead, I got you.
My point is that I just want to give people another option. And I feel like, my philosophy, my spiritual teachings is a good option for people that because for example, a lot of people that follow me, they be thanking me. Like they was saying, like it's a couple people who was like, I was following him, and I knew it was something off about him, but I couldn't really understand. But then when I heard your perception and I heard your knowledge, it really helped me, and I'm so glad that I went that route. Definitely. So what I'm doing is basically, a lot of people may think he's the only option because he tells people that, like, I'm the only option. I'm the Messiah. If you don't follow me, then you're going to hell. He says this often.
Let me give you a different perception of what that is. Have you read like the Bible and shit? Do you read the Bible?
Yeah, for sure.
So when they're talking about I and me, when you read that, you're supposed to embody that. You're not supposed to be thinking nothing outside of what you are. Three God understands this. So he embodies what the scripture is saying. So when people don't have that understanding, now the outside people may not get it, but I'm pretty sure that the people that are around him understand that teaching. Like, you know what I mean? I understand it, and I don't even got to be up under his shit, but I understand it.
Right.
Because we're not talking about nothing outside of self. So if he's saying that I love myself, and he says this, I love myself. So if he's saying that, he's ultimately saying that he loves you. So you are him, he is you, right?
I get that, right?
So with that being stated, when he says that I am the God and I am your higher self, if they give him adoration, they're giving themselves adoration.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Right. So, but if you was really had pure intent behind that teaching, and I perfectly understand, and that's why it'd be frustrating with me when y'all think that I don't understand that I'm Krishna. When I listen to the teachings, I'm not separating myself from Krishna. When I hear Vishnu speak, I'm thinking about myself speaking those words. Like, I don't separate myself from Vishnu, but I don't want to go into that circle.
No, you can.
But if you was really believed, if he really believed that, when you want your students to also come to that understanding themselves, I would tell myself.
That's what I'm saying. So you think that they don't?
No, because you know, he's embodying it. He's saying I'm God, but at the simultaneously, I don't know if you've seen one of his most recent videos where he was kind of demasculating the men. He was telling the world how, you know, they're weak, feminine, and beta males, and how, you know, no woman should really want to be with them. They should only want to be with him because he's the God. He's the three God.
Right.
And only reason a woman will want to fuck with them is because they couldn't get to him. So
Okay.
he on some shit. It seemed like he on some shit where, you know, yeah, you embody in the script, you understand that you're a God, which is fine.
Right.
But why wouldn't you want to elevate your men to think that same way? Why you're the only Messiah? Why you the only? It's like he wants to hold that to himself and view everybody else as his servants and his. You know what I mean?
So let's go back to the original topic of this discussion, right? Which was, you know, what's the position for the male and the female, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a woman could say, the man runs this shit, right? I'ma still run this nigga bathwater. I'ma still feed this nigga food. I'm gonna bring him place. I'm gonna do all this shit. Her position is to know that, nigga, I'm that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Without me, this nigga couldn't have what I'm doing. So niggas don't. So what I'm trying to say is, and it may sound funny, people who don't get offended by certain things are naturally tapped in with their position. They're not really bothered by shit. Like, you know what I mean? So they're serving this nigga because they are allowing themselves to do that. At that point in time, like that's what they're doing. So they don't have to be looked at, oh nigga, you doing this and you doing that. Other people may feel that way, but they're like, nigga, I do what the fuck I want to do. And that's their option. Like, you know what I mean? So again, so there is nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Now from our perspective, you know what I mean? It may be like, nah, nigga, I would never do that, because I would never do that on some real shit. Like, you know what I mean? But I would equally do that for a woman who I would say that I'm the leader of. I'm going to do everything for her. Why? Because we're on the same level. Even though I may say I'm the head of the household, but I'm still going to do some shit for you. Like, you know what I mean? So it don't matter, as long as you know your position and as long as you play that shit and you know that you're the controller of that position. What's the problem?
Yeah, no, I definitely get what you're saying. But like, again, you know, man, maybe it's just his method of teaching, you know. But what would be the reason, you know, if you really ultimately want your students to know that they have the ability to tap into the same thing you can tap into, and they are the same thing that you are,
Right.
why wouldn't you want them to, you know, embody that as well? Like, I would be trying to train my soldiers to become me, to be like me.
Right.
You know
They can be anything that they want, though. That's the point that I was trying to say.
But once they decide to be whatever they want, they can't. He kicks them out. He said it, like, if you want to do your own shit, you gotta get the fuck out of my house.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
It is perfect. It is though. It is. Right. But if you in my house, you gotta serve me and be less than me
until you figure it out. But you're still doing the best of what you're doing while you're there. Are you not?
Right.
Because if you wasn't doing the best of what you were doing that you can do, you would be doing something else. But at that point in time, you're doing the best that you can do. So they're naturally in their God state, even though they may be looking like they're in a submissive state. And this is the point that I'm trying to get. And I'm not trying to sway you to think any type of way, but I just want you to know that, you know, sometimes people may be comfortable in their position, even though it looks wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Even though, because different situation, I've came to the conclusion that that homeless people understand that they're homeless, bums know that they're bums. Like, everybody does what the fuck they want to do. Niggas could easily get up and make some money, but they're comfortable in that state. We may be like, damn, nigga, that's fucked up. This nigga ain't got nowhere to stay. Yada yada yada. But they are doing what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just hold up real quick, because I'm gonna let him go, because he might have a lot to say to that, and then you can go. But again, I just don't want you to. I don't want to say waste your energy. I want you to say, just like you said you was gonna do. Well, what this nigga got, I'm gonna become the best of who I am going to be. right? Ultimately, because
ultimately.
you giving him, the more you talk about him, the more you're giving him power. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand. I thought about that, and that's why I haven't really made a lot of videos on it, and I don't really have the intention to. It was just a more so in the moment. I'm like, I feel like this. I feel like this could benefit some people. Let me say this shit right quick. And if it served people, it did. If it didn't, it didn't. But I did what I did. But that's definitely not like a goal or intention of mine to just keep doing that shit. I got my own shit to do. But nah, I resonate with a lot with what you're saying, and I perfectly understand it. Yeah, that's why, like, debates about this, it's not pointless. It's a good exercise. But like, ultimately, like, it all comes full circle. Like, we talking about the same thing from different perspectives. But like, I feel like you kind of saying it, and I think you agree when I said this earlier, to just let everything be as it is. Just let everything be as it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. You saying just be at peace with what is, good, bad, right or wrong, is happening for a reason.
Right. Be at peace with
That's the
yourself.
Buddhist perspective. That's the Zen. I definitely understand, and it's definitely bliss in that. But sometimes, when we do make actions or take actions against certain things that's happening in the world, that's a part of what is too. You know what I mean? That's a part of that. That's there to keep balance, because we could just let everything be as it is, but at some point something has to come along to counterbalance, the so-called evil aspect or the wrong aspect of that shit. You know what I mean? Because you can't just, you know what I mean? But it's all nature. Like, I agree with that. It's all nature. It's all happening, and but both sides are happening.
Right.
People doing
exactly.
both. It's people doing what we call evil, but then it's
Right.
people doing what we call good, and naturally they're going to oppose each other. It's a
That's a
paradox.
fact.
It's a polarity. And I just be saying, I lean towards the side of the positive side, even though I know ultimately I am both. Let's be clear. I know I'm God and the devil. I'm good and evil. But my intention is to be pure goodness, to master my evil, to rise above my evil and embody the purest aspect of myself, which is the good aspect of myself.
Do you think
You know
that's
what I mean?
do you think that's our natural way of thinking?
What
What you
what you
just
mean,
now
being
said.
pure
Yeah.
goodness?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the natural that's the natural way of thinking. That's your soul's real
And, and
position.
and I'm asking that to say, like, so do you think that everybody has that same, outlook on life?
Nah, like, more so that's our inner being's perspective. But the ego got its whole other perception. But ultimately, I think we all want to be good. I think we all want to do right. I feel like that internal guidance system is inside of all of us. We know what we should do and what we shouldn't do. Sometimes we do what we know we shouldn't do, and yeah, ultimately it serves you. You learn a lesson from it. But I think our real intent though is to be good. We want to be good. We want to master being good.
Right.
Being pure, helping others. And that's what I was saying is like the purpose of it all. Going through the negative shit is to teach you why you should be good.
Right.
Because if you continue to do negative shit, that's your choice and that's your free will, and that's a part of nature. People gonna go that route. But I think when you go that route, you smack a brick wall and you like, that's why I shouldn't be doing that.
Right. No, I fuck
You
with
know
that.
what I mean?
Go ahead, Laura.
I was gonna say I have to go, lovies, because I have to pick my child up from work. Krishna, I
Okay,
appreciate you. I'm gonna once
no
I
problem.
here, I'm
I
gonna
appreciate you too.
get
Yeah.
on live. I love you guys.
All right.
All right.
Peace, lady.
It won't let me hang up. We're saying
Gotcha.
there's usually
But yeah, again, I super appreciate you for coming through. And like I said, I don't take a lot of things personal. Sometimes I get real passionate. I get real, involved in the conversation and shit. But again,
Right.
I like the fact that regardless to the situation, and again, you would be the odd man out in a situation. You're still standing on your own, and you're still willing to listen, and you're still willing to learn. And we're still willing to listen and learn because we're still growing and shit. So naturally,
Right.
again, I don't want people to think like like we are at like we're like mortal enemies and shit, like you know what I mean, or no shit like that.
Right.
Because we're all equally just trying to figure out what it is, and just trying to come to a certain level of understanding amongst each other, like you know what I mean. So definitely your energy is always in the right place. And people recognize that, like you know what I mean. They see the pure intent without you saying it. They see how humble you are when you're saying certain things, like you know what I mean. So, and I definitely recognize that. So I definitely want to, and I tell you that every time we go in and shit, like you know what I mean, because it's felt, like you know what I mean. So definitely that.
Right.
And again, man, like it's Friday, and I know you sacrifice real time because I know it's like late out there and shit, like you know what I mean. So
That's 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I appreciate it, man. It was definitely a good build at the end of the day. I enjoyed it. I appreciate it. Y'all was coming for me. Y'all was coming for my throat. You know what I'm saying? But and I really do understand everything y'all saying. I really don't disagree. I want that to be known. I just feel it's a different aspect that I just feel like y'all may be overlooking, and maybe I'm overlooking the aspect of what y'all saying too. But
no, see, and I'm gonna keep it a band with you. A lot of the times, and I hate to cut you off. I'm sorry about that, but I want to tell you that we do understand what you're saying, in a certain sense. But when a lot of times when we come into this I am shit, like it's kind of like we don't deal with the the smaller portions of what the whole is, because our intent is to understand what the whole is, right?
Right.
So we've already went through all the I don't want to say all, but we went through a lot of the smaller steps in order to get to where we're at right now. So and we see that in you, like you know what I mean. That's the whole point. Like we see it in you, like, oh yeah, we did that work too, like you know what I mean. So when we see it, and just like you said, you understand what we're saying. So we're ultimately saying the same thing. Like, and you said that a lot of times within this, within this 3 hour, 4 hours, like, you know what I mean? So we get it, but we're just looking at it, just like you said, from different perspectives. We're looking at it from, a totality perspective, and you're looking at it from, nigga, we going through this right now perspective. Like, you know what I mean? There's no right or wrong. Like, you know what I mean? There's just different positions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So it's all love, man.
It's all love, man. So we'll definitely get back to it. I might tap in next week if I'm available.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that was good. That was a good one, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out, man. I need to take my ass to sleep.
I was gonna say, did you want to close out? Did you want to talk to the people? Because there's people that was rocking with you in the thing. So if you want to drop your, whatever.
Yo, it's crazy. I be forgetting it. I mean, I know we live, but I was not even considering the fact that people watching this shit. I be wanting to look at the comments and shit, but like, I think you gotta watch the whole podcast to kind of look at the comments. It'd be weird, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna see what everybody's been talking about. But anybody who's resonate what I was saying, feel free to add me as a friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking that Krishna consciousness. They kicking that I am consciousness. So you can get both sides of it, fucking with both of us. So it ain't no separation at the end of the day. It's just we looking at it through two different lenses.
That's a fact.
But y'all trying to get to Vaikuntha though, now just went.
Hey, you want to know it? That's right. That's right. Peace,
all right, bro. But definitely hold it down, bro. Salute.
All right, for sure. All right.
take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us. Always going up. You can't take from us. We ain't slowing up. Look what life gave us.